is what can we do to like politically start making noise in the country? Because we are sending money home, right? Most of us here, if you're Nigerian, we send money home. We send money home. Like we send money home. I got given dry January. Yeah, we all send money home in some capacity, right? And that money is we use it to we need to take care of our families. A lot of us use that money that we send to the family. They use it to support businesses because they are buying food, right? Some people are going to school in Nigeria now because of the diaspora. We are see the Nigerian diaspora has so much power. And I don't think us as Nigerians in the diaspora, I don't think we are leveraging that power, guys. We are not. We need to figure out a way. I don't know, maybe you guys have an idea, but the Nigerian diaspora, we need to start taking accountability of how do we now leverage our power as a collective. And we don't need everybody to be in line. We don't need everybody to fall in line. We just need a few people that have a vision. You understand? Like you guys now, like I see Sahid. Sahid is based in America and is in Germany. I'm in Switzerland. There's a lot of Nigerians in the diaspora that are sending money back home. We keep Nigeria spinning. We keep Nigeria spinning. So how can we leverage our money? How can we leverage our funds? You understand? How can we leverage our funds to make sure we can now start getting involved in the politicking of our country? I don't think we're having this conversation, but I think it's a conversation that we must absolutely have. Because right now, what we are doing is, yes, we are sending money back home. I send money back home. We all do. It's not new, right? It's like, okay, what can we do? And this is a conversation for everybody. How can, how can we use our collective power as Nigerians in the diaspora to now have a voice at home? You understand? Last marking, Nat and Kate said, first thing that needs to be done is to get rid of tribalism. Nat and Kate, I understand you. I agree with you to an extent, but I don't think you can ever get rid of tribalism. Tribalism is not something that you can ever get rid of. You can manage it. I don't know what you think. I don't know what somebody else thinks, but I don't think Nigeria's problem is tribalism. I don't think Nigeria's problem is tribalism. I really don't think Nigeria's problem is tribalism. I don't think. What is a good wait? Wow! Yeah, I don't think Nigeria's problem is tribalism. I don't think so. Tribalism is an issue. I don't think tribalism is an issue. It is an issue, but I don't think tribalism is like the main problem of Nigeria. See, the biggest problem of Nigeria, in my opinion, is this: is people are hungry. You understand? Last month say sent over 500 euro. Is that pounds or euro to nine? Wow, bro. Damn, that's a lot of money though. 500 euros to Nigeria over the Christmas period. Bro, they must save money. Last month king. Hope that money should be enough to save 500 euros. Yo, I hope you are telling them to maintain that money, bro. That's a lot of cash in naira. Don't that should be enough to sustain for like 3 months, in my opinion. Maybe I'm talking a bit delusional here, but now if you sent it to, it depends how many people you send it to. Okay, well, anyway, well, can it sustain people for 3 months? 500 euros? Actually, maybe not though, because on average I send about 250 home, and that's yeah, well, maybe not, maybe I don't know. But see, to me, tribalism is not tribalism. Okay, and I say, yeah, to one family I can send for 3 months, bro, like for real. But yeah. But I don't think tribalism is the biggest issue in Nigeria. It's not because when everybody is hungry, if Eno is hungry, Holasame is hungry, Vitamin is hungry, I am hungry. We don't have time to think now. We don't have time to think. We don't have time to think. If like what we have currently in Nigeria right now, I am from Akwa Ibom State, and the fact that I am from Akwa Ibom State, has limited my options in that country. And I don't want this conversation to be an us against them conversation, but we cannot ignore it. We cannot ignore the fact that that's a key part of what Nigeria is today. I even put here, Nigeria is too structurally flawed. We are a flawed country in terms of our structure, if that makes any sense. You understand? So the question is, what can we do now? Okay, fair enough. Do we have to put together a lobby group? You understand? Do we have to put together a lobby group to start advocating for better politicians? We have to get involved in this game, guys. We have to get involved, and we have power. See, if we can get 50, maybe even 20 Nigerians, doesn't matter where you are, but if you're in the diaspora, 50 Nigerians in the diaspora that are living abroad, they know what it's like to have a good system of operation. These people, oftentimes, they don't care about tribalism as much. For me, I don't give a fuck what tribe you come from in Nigeria. I don't care. That's my mindset right now. I don't care where you're from in Nigeria. I do not care. You could be from the north, could be from the south, be from the east, be from the west. I do not care. In fact, you can come from the smallest tribe in Nigeria. The thing is this person good for the job? Yes or no? I don't care about anything else. This is the kind of leadership we need in Nigeria. We need a system. Exactly. Last month, I don't think tribalism is not the biggest. Tribalism is not the biggest. Corruption is the biggest issue. Corruption is the biggest issue in Nigeria. Corruption is the biggest issue in Nigeria, and the reluctance of acknowledging the differences of Nigerians is keeping us hindered. Nigeria as a country does not work. Again, the north of, again, I'm trying not to make this an us against them type of live stream, but I cannot ignore it. The north of Nigeria is so different from the south. Like, totally different. Totally different. And when we are talking about building Nigeria and moving it forward, we have to acknowledge that. We cannot ignore the flaw in our structure as a country. We cannot ignore that. We cannot ignore how flawed we are as a country, the structure, and then just say, okay, let's just fix it. No, you cannot. You cannot. I cannot, and you cannot, and you should not. Right? Oh, sorry. I just saw that I have multi-guests now. I'll bring you up now. Sorry, I missed that. I'm on my laptop, guys, so that I don't see a lot of the signals. But I don't know who wants. I'll bring you up now. Give me a second. I have to click. It's taking its sweet time. Wait a minute. Yeah. It's not bringing. Wait. When you stream on your laptop, sometimes it's just. I like to stream on my laptop, but sometimes it's so complicated. Yeah. Sorry guys, I cannot seem to unlock the cannot seem to unlock the give me a minute. Now it comes. It takes a sweet time. Hello. And is that
Hey,
you?
yeah, it's me.
Man, it's my I'm streaming from another laptop, and it's I think because I haven't used TikTok. I haven't used TikTok on this laptop for a while, so it's like slow to catch up. But can you hear me well? All good?
I can hear
You
you.
can hear me well? Fantastic. Can people in the comment section hear or no? Because I know that used to be a thing. South Sudan was formed in 2011 and by the had a civil war and the government. Okay, so okay, everybody's fine. So dear, welcome, welcome, go on. Hey, I'm
Yeah,
glad everybody can, because sometimes I cannot hear her, but everybody can hear her. It's all good. Go on.
yeah, I just wanted to go to the point of the discussion that you said. what must we do to be involved politically? And I want to use an example of something that I'm currently working on, a consultancy for an international NGO that works with local grassroots level NGO in supporting like democracy and holding government accountable at the very local level. And the
Yeah.
way they do it is that they use the communities themselves to hold the people accountable. So like 4 years ago when they piloted the program, they had started this civic education thing, and so we did it. It didn't really work out because again, this project is piloted in Lagos, and Lagos political structure is very complicated. But just to share an idea from the evaluation meeting that we had and what they suggested, because I think it's a very powerful thing that you know ties into or could be an opening to this conversation that you're talking about. So basically, the NGO like looked at the analysis of what we're proposing for the next 4 years, and they were like, yeah, we like the civic education where you're basically, the Nigerian people, the mass population have to be politically educated. They have to know their rights. They have to know that the government work for them. But it didn't work in the last 2 years, basically. It wasn't successful. We like the idea. But because of the sort of like political tug culture in Lagos, where a specific political party, is very aggressive and violent and, you know, create a lot of problems. So it's very difficult to be non-partisan, if you understand what I mean. So they said, okay, you know what? Instead of us to focus too much on the political leaning, how about we design the project in such a way that grassroots people are now, like, we help them to create opportunities for them to identify who their constituency leaders are, both at the state level and at the federal level, and assist them in requesting town hall meetings with those people. Like they have to meet the people that represent them because those are the people that matter to them. If you're talking about primary education, public health at the very grassroots level, the PHCs, as they call it in local government, like the primary healthcare centers, the governor is not in charge of that. They said the representatives of at the state level and at the federal level are in charge. So the whole idea is let's pilot the projects in a way and distribute it at local community where you set a process for the people to know who does what for them and who is representing them. Put a face to it, then help support them in writing to their representatives to say, we need to see you. You're representing Ilupeju. You need to have a town hall with us. You cannot be in Abuja and we don't see you for 4 years. Then when it's time for election, you come and share eyes to a group of people and they rig election for you. So I think as a diaspora, I saw somebody in the comments saying that we need to organize, but we need to organize in a way that connects back to the grassroots level because no matter how much we are passionate about Nigeria from outside and even from a private sector perspective, the change that Nigeria will have, the people that will change Nigeria are in Nigeria. We can support strategically, we can support with our resources, but as long as we're not living there, to be honest, we have power, but we have a different kind of, we have global soft power from what we can do from the outside. But from the inside, we have to find ways to support the people, support grassroots. It's a long-term investment. If we are as a community of Nigerian diaspora, if all of us pick things as a group that we are doing, we can move state to state or local government to local government. We're doing this. You're enrolling kids in school. You're paying for kids' school meals, which can be like $10 a month, decade before we can see any kind of difference. I think I'll leave it there for now.
Have you heard of this platform called Kwanda? You know.
Yes, I have. I don't really know how it works, but I have.
Yeah, but it looks like they do. It was M actually who told me about it, and I mean I haven't looked into it, but they seem to be doing a lot of this grassroots supports, and it looks to be good. They've supported a lot of projects for like Jacinda said in the comment section, healthcare, setting up boreholes, empowering people. So I don't know, like it could definitely go. It could be a platform for the diasporas to put more diasporans on such things. Like instead of creating new ones all the time, we could say, okay, what already exists, and how can we just add
Mm.
more fuel to it? So that I was just curious to know if you know about that. Mhm.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know about it, but I think it's more broad based. And to be honest, it's like when I looked at it, what I understood from it is that the majority, like if we're talking about Africa, it's different. But if we're talking specifically about Nigeria, I'm not saying we should create something new. We can leverage, but it has to be very specific. Because when I looked at, I think M also told me about that platform. When I looked at it, it was more broadly based, and we as Nigerians, and even if I wasn't Nigerian, I'll be very concerned about what's happening in Nigeria because Nigeria is a very important country in Africa. So we need to be much more focused on. We need to find grassroots organization because they exist on all issue that you can think of. We need to find ways to partner with them. We need to find ways to support them to do the things that we see that's going to be beneficial, but from a very broad Africa base, things will easily get lost in that process. It's just my opinion.
okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. I'm trying to share this my screen to show you guys the website so that you guys know, you guys see it because I think it's quite interesting to show you guys what it's all about. Just give me a minute. Um, but yeah, the grassroots is definitely needed, and I think that's where we need to go. Like you said something that I do like about the soft power of the Nigerian diaspora. I do agree. However, I think a lot of us we get a bit discouraged in terms of the not being sure as to, okay, if I want to give money, how am I sure that the money will go to where it needs to go, if that makes any sense. I'm sure you can see where I'm coming from. And it's like, how do we circumvent that? Because yes, it's a it's a worry, but it's a worry that we have to
Mm.
get through because nobody's going to build this country other than us, right?
Yeah, but I think that there's a guy on Twitter, I don't remember his name. He has done a lot of things in Kano from China. He has never been to Nigeria. He hasn't been to Nigeria since he left Nigeria, like I think 5 years ago. I'm just trying to say that if you're a Nigerian diaspora, and something means something to you, find a way to make it work. I'm not
Yeah,
saying there are no systems in place to abuse your goodwill, but if you really want to do it, you do it.
absolutely.
If you say in this local government, the roofs in primary schools are leaking, I want I want us to fix it. Let's raise 2,000 euros to do this. If we're serious about it, there are systems that we can stay individually wherever we are in the world to do it. You find people that work there. You find one person, like the way this guy in on Twitter I'm telling you about, I don't remember his name, but the way he does it, first of all, he used his friend. He has his friend as a project manager. He used his friend. Everybody submits invoice to him. You go, you quote a bill. Like he basically fixed so many primary schools in Kano, fixed them, renovated them, you know, bought chairs. Like it made primary education for the children and for the teachers dignifying because children were literally sitting on the floor. The classrooms didn't have any roof. So you can stay wherever in the world you are to do those things. You just have to, if you want to do it as a group, you have to find one primary person. It just means that you will be checking a lot of things. It means that if you say you want someone, you cannot have a third party that will do contracts. You don't want that. You want every penny that you, because it's charity. So you cannot have a middleman that is stealing money or trying to take out money. So
Yeah.
everything you want direct sources. You want somebody's going to roof. I want an invoice. I want three invoices. We want to see who the person that is going to do it is. You get a percentage. We're not paying third party.
Hmm.
That's one of the things that Nigerians don't like. We are usually not careful. We are very used to this contracting where you find one individual that oversees stuff. And me, I don't believe in that because I think
Yeah.
that enables corruption.
Yeah. It has to be direct, right? You have to pay
Yeah.
something, you pay direct. I like that, and I like
Yeah.
the mindset. I like the mindset of, if you want to do it, you go do it, right? And that's that's
Yeah.
that's literally all it is, right? There is no need to be discouraged as quickly as soon as you experience a disaster. So moving forward on this topic, I think first off, that's that, right? Leveraging our economic power as the Nigerian diaspora to continue to add value to the grassroots. So grassroots is key. Now, politically speaking, right? In your opinion, how can the average Nigerian diaspora, because that's my focus, the Nigerian in the diaspora, how can we, from your perspective, how can we start getting more involved politically in Nigeria, having conversations about the politics, holding our corrupt politicians accountable, like being more vocal, like just like the Kenyans do and the South Africans do? Like, what can we do to be more politically active in your perspective?
I think in in Nigeria right now, it's a very hard question, right? Because things are going really bad. So you can't even be a Nigeria in Nigeria doing this. So what I'm not sure yet of how it works is how do you do that from outside? Because trying to support people in Nigeria has put a lot of people to hold government accountable, has put a lot of people in jail, put a lot of people in trouble. People have lost their lives, people have disappeared. So there's a lot of fear, and corruption and our bad governance thrives on this sort of intimidation. So, but what I haven't managed to figure out how it works is how do we from the outside do this? Because right now there are very few people that are talking about the government, especially like in my lifetime, I have never seen in Nigeria where people were afraid to say anything as is currently happening right now with this current government. And that's because this current government did the same thing in Lagos State, the silencing of the other voice. Anything that wants to, they're arresting people on people that are tweeting about, the the president's son wanting to be governor of Lagos State. They're arresting people on tweets. So it's very
Wow.
difficult to, like, yeah. So I don't really know from the diasporan side, outside of protesting, and even at that, protesting in England or in very prominent places that our leaders go to. If they come to University College London to speak, if you hear Erufai is coming, organizing Nigerians to go and make noise because it matters. I just don't know to the degree that it matters, because you look at the international space, Nigeria doesn't have any ally. Rarely has a country that wants Nigeria to do well. And we saw that in the election that just happened, that Tinubu quote unquote won. We saw the body languages of people. We saw international governments blatantly ignoring the fact that that election was rigged and a lot of people were killed to congratulate a known criminal, a person who was jailed in the US for, being a powder trafficker, a person who had to forfeit. Like, it's, to me, it just shows me that Nigeria has no international allies. So I don't really know, to be honest, what we can do. But like my friend was telling me, the truth of the matter is that Nigerians are going to have to die for Nigeria to come out of the mess that it is. So he said, like, how long are we going to continue to be scared for our lives? So we need to find people that are quote unquote bold enough. There are people who have done, there are people who are still doing it, but those people are now used to going to jail. Like, Sowore is used to going to jail. He doesn't mind. And because he's gained, there are many other people like that. And those kinds of people, because they've gained some kind of international prominence, it's usually difficult to kill them or to make them disappear. So the idea is now, like, how do we enter into conversations with people that are already doing this? How do we start talking about our upcoming elections? Because it might look like it's far away, it's very close. The way elections happen, the way things happen in Nigeria, before you know it, it's another election period. Do we have a strategy? Nobody really knows. Do we have an opposition party in Nigeria? Nobody really knows if it exists. So I think we need to, maybe as a group, come to ways of organizing and having conversations with people who were involved in the last election to say, you are an opposition party. What is your plan for Nigeria? Have you surrendered for APC to keep ruling us and destroying our country? If you're a PDP or if you're a Labour Party or whatever it is that you are, what is the plan for the next election? Because usually what normally happens, like DG Adeyonju said, is that he feels that the Nigerian opposition party is already bought by the government. That's why they don't oppose. You only hear from them 2 months to election. They don't tell us anything. They don't do anything. Just go to sleep. Once election is over, everybody goes to bed. And then when it's few months to election, they will come out and make noise. And the government knows, there's even a controversy that the current APC government caused trouble in the Labour Party so that there will be discord and they'll be disconnected. And they planted somebody there to
Mm-hmm.
hijack the party. So now Peter Obi has left the party.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Nigeria is in very serious trouble in terms of how we can organize as a diasporan group to support the voice. I still think that we need to find people in Nigeria who are already doing it. Like for example, you Kingsley, you can write Deji Adeyanju. He's somebody I know. I can write him for you. You
Mm-hmm.
can have a conversation with him on your YouTube, and that kind of conversation can be a conversation that we all listen to and maybe watch live to. Let's plan what is going to happen to our country in the next election.
Mm-hmm.
We can find ways to talk to other people that are already doing the things that we are trying to do, because right now the average Nigerian who has to fear for his life cannot do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like that idea. Again, it's all about taking actions and taking steps to just get conversations started, which in my opinion we don't have enough of, and for multiple reasons. Either, like you said, the average Nigerian in Nigeria is scared. They're hungry and they're scared. The Nigerian abroad, some of us have given up on Nigeria, which I think you should never give up on your country, no matter what. You have others that don't really, they are too focused, and like fair enough, they're focused on surviving where they are, right? And not even enough time to start thinking, oh, what's going on in that country now. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes for me, when I look at, my ability to focus on Nigeria and still talk, is because, and I'm in a decent enough place where I can actually think and still focus on Nigeria. So that's also a factor. So personally, for me, what I can do and I will do anyway is those kind of things that you mentioned. I know, talking to those people that are on the ground, on the grassroots, that are legitimate, that know what's going on. At least that, I think that's what my platform can do now. Anyway, I'm talking immediate action, talking to people, trying to see how to mobilize our funds to go directly to the grassroots. I think those are two things that my platform could potentially do more of. Actually, in this month of January, I'm just ironing out my schedule, because this month I want to just finalize a lot of things, and then I'll start looking at, okay, who can I have conversations with in January? Two people every month. Who are the key people I want to talk to in Nigeria right now, politically, business wise? What can we do to mobilize funds? um, to get their plans started. Now, before I go to Leslie, I will say this. Personally, I think that the diaspora, I still believe that a lot can still be done with our voice online. At least, I don't think we are calling out the corruption and the lack of accountability in Nigeria. I think one thing we can do as a collective is we need to make more noise on that. And what do you think quickly? Then I'm going to go to Leslie. Then we can give the floor to Leslie. Please go on, Eno.
I was going to say I agree with you and give you an example. Can you imagine what would happen if we were able to find a lawyer who does legal aid in
Mm-hmm.
Lagos and tell him we need record of people in prison for nothing? Go, like, we would pay for that kind of data, who the person is, when
Mm-hmm.
they're arrested, what they accuse them of, all those stupid things that they lock people up for years.
Yeah.
You have a record of when they were arrested, what happened, who they are, and get that kind of information, and then use it for talking points to pressure international government, to pressure the Human Rights Commission, to pressure the Human Rights Watch. Call that kind of attention, because at that point, but if you're just talking, You don't have facts.
Okay.
But if you have a call, if you have a log, if a lawyer who's doing this work, which the prison people will not know. They will just feel like he's coming to look at people's cases who have never been to court. But he's really going there to collect information of people who stole, somebody who stole chicken in 1999. I
Yeah.
saw it on Twitter, and he's in prison. In
Wow.
1999, they arrested somebody for stealing a chicken. He has never been to court, and he's in prison.
Insane.
Nigerian prison is filled with people like this. So imagine as a diaspora, if we came up and we took some lawyers to say, we don't have a lot of money for you, but we can give you something. We can pay for your time,
Yep.
and this is what we want. Give us this kind of record. He collects it. He comes. When you use fact to do advocacy, you'll be surprised that we will make noise for 3 weeks. The Nigerian government took look at this issue because everybody will be like, how can this
Yeah.
happen in a country like
Noise.
Nigeria?
No.
Those are the kind of things that we need to do.
Absolutely. And that's Leslie, you're next, sir. And that's why I was thinking to myself over the towards the festive period, like how can I use my platform to be more, like I enjoy speaking about Africa. I think I know we've spoken about this a lot of times. Yeah, I'm a Pan African guy, but it starts from Nigeria. It starts with Nigeria because if Nigeria can get half of its uh, please not hurry for me at all. Oh, okay, no hurry for you, Leslie, or hurry for you, because I saw you. I think you said you were busy with research work. But anyway, Leslie, if you want to speak, just unmute yourself and speak, brother. Okay? No stress, no rush. And so it starts with Nigeria. It starts with Nigeria. So that's why I was like, okay, you know what? If we can get our country up and running to an extent, especially from the accountability side of things, the rest of Africa will look, and the rest of Africa will see. Now the question is this: what else can I do? And I love that, which is finding these people in Nigeria already. They exist. They absolutely exist. Like on my LinkedIn, okay, Leslie, no hurry. No worries, man. On my LinkedIn, I see so many Nigerians in Nigeria. I'm like, whoa, these guys exist. They do. But they don't have the visibility. You understand? So, like, to your point, if we, as the Nigerian diaspora, we can now give those people platform, give them platform, like the lawyers now, the lawyers that maybe might be doing this prison work as a side hustle, maybe not side hustle, but like a side project. We can now connect them to the Real Talk with Kingsley show, connect them to our community, and I say, hey, bro, listen, we get it. We don't have a lot of money. I know you're doing this, you're doing that. We can support you. We can give you some money here and there. We can, I don't know, pay for whatever. We can support you. Go do a video, record, share with us. Let's talk about it. Like, this is something we can definitely do, and I want us to do that. And I think we already we have a platform, right? We have a platform on TikTok. We have a growing platform on YouTube. We have a platform on Instagram. And when I say we, I'm talking about us, everybody else, everybody here, because the Real Talk with my TikTok page is not for me. It's for everybody. I like to look at this as a community platform. We have to come together to speak on our fucking issues in Nigeria. And I want us to be able to speak on these things. I want us to have a platform dedicated to speaking on our issues. Last Mad King, sir, welcome. What do you think?
Oh, hello, hello. How you doing, bro?
We did all right, sir.
How's it?
How's life? How's dry January treating you, man?
Man, I just day here, they drink milk. That's how you know we're in dry January. I'm drinking protein milk.
Yo, bro. Oh man. No, Allah, we drink. Man,
uh,
I did drink
uh,
panache. You know what's in me panache? Ah,
no, what be that?
na lemon, na lemonade with small sugar, or plenty sugar sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah,
correct,
yeah, bro.
correct.
Yeah, bro. Welcome. What do you want to
Oh,
say
you
to us,
have a
sir?
very good topic.
Yeah.
You have a very, very good topic. You see, here, we as diasporans, we they abroad, we have things that we can do. What your previous speaker was saying, she makes sense. She makes sense. That grassroots plan as Nigeria day, and if you want to do something, person fit take you open office. That's another problem we did there because you are not there. But Nigeria, what we as diasporans can do, yeah, every country that we do, we should band up in that country. Like, let me use Ireland for example. All the Nigerian people living in Ireland, yeah, create a group and just stay in touch with each other. That group is just to notify each other that any day any of our politicians, because they for the Nigerian Foreign Affairs website, they always post when Tinubu or one of these people they come for one kind of occasion. If it's in your town, if it's in your country, that country that you're in, every Nigerian there carry placard. If you know where they live, if we can even find out, because some of them they even get houses.
Yeah.
They
Yep.
get houses in Europe where they come and they chill for weekend or summer. When they are there, every Nigerian in that country will come out and camp there. What
Yeah.
are you doing? Why are you here while people are suffering back home?
Yeah.
You see, they don't face challenges
They
back home
don't.
and they don't face challenges abroad.
They don't.
That is why they can do what they do with impunity.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? There is something I heard that is just so sad. Nigeria, a rich man, I don't know if you heard it. This happened in Lagos. Don't know the name of the man, but his two sons went and sprayed money. They went and sprayed money, and just because they were spraying money, yeah, the policeman they had as one of their bodyguards, they used the guy as basically a table to
Ah.
hold the money for them while they were spraying it. Yeah, the Nigerian PRO came out
Hey.
and said, yes, we have arrested that policeman, and yet there is no consequence for the actual people committing the actual crime.
Ah.
And they are so boldly saying it. The only thing that is happening is the two boys came out and released a statement on Twitter saying, yeah, that they are sorry, that they realized that their actions were not right. But what about the policeman that's sitting in prison?
Wait. They arrested.
That policeman did
Wait.
nothing wrong.
They arrest. Whoa. They arrested the policeman that was used as a table.
Yeah, the policeman that was holding the money for them while they were spraying it.
Ah. Hey.
That's to show you. That's to show you they face no challenges back home and they face no challenges abroad. I'm telling you, it's a very big shame. I saw a video, Cubana chief priest, one of his boys, the mother died,
Yeah.
and they were doing this massive burial. Over 100 cows were slaughtered, everything. But the videos, if you see the convoy, Davido came there, a lot of people. But if you look around, what I saw was the abject poverty around them. People were standing at the corner just watching.
Oh,
Policemen were there barricading so people can't cross.
Typical.
The abject people were standing without shoes, clothes. Some were naked. You could see them in the video. They were just there standing around watching.
Cut.
While people rich, they say Nigeria is a rich country, but yet there is no middle class. You are either very rich or you're poor.
Yeah.
The middle class is gone from Nigeria. The only thing that we can do as diasporans, because if you talk too much, Nigeria will turn you into a dissident. There are so many people there are so many Nigerians living abroad today that cannot go back home. They cannot go back home. If they touch leg in Nigeria, that is it. It doesn't matter whether they are a citizen wherever they are from. It doesn't matter whether they are a citizen
That's what people were
wherever
telling me.
they are
Last man
living.
king. They were telling me, Kingsley, you better be careful
It's
too.
the truth.
They were telling me like, no, really. They
It's
told me
the
like,
truth.
they were like, bro, listen, we like what you do, but listen, bro. They were, so I was like, well, hey, look. They were
It's
telling
the
me, bro.
truth. They can turn you into a dissident immediately. And the thing that we can do most, that I'm not sure they can do anything to us if we protest them here. They have no power here.
Of course, yeah, they have no power.
If
bro.
we protest them here, we use the laws here, and we protest them, shame them. At least that would wake the people back home up, because the people back home, like I said there, that I sent a lot of money back to Nigeria over the Christmas. I was
Yeah.
talking to one of the guys there. We were talking about one of my friends. I sent him about 50 euro this Christmas. And he was there saying to me, yeah, did I hear that tariffs might be going up because of a cost of management? All the telecommunications are planning on increasing tariff because of a cost of doing business. So I said to him, "What are you planning on doing about it? What is? We'll just leave it. God
Typical. Go.
will survive."
Aha.
Oh God,
uh,
no more. I'm not sending again. I'm not, because that's the hope. We give them hope, so they are relaxed. If we stop sending money back, I'm not sending again. Oh. If we stop sending money back
yeah.
and actually start protesting these people here,
Yeah.
the people back home will wake up, because they are so comfortable
They're
with the
comfortable.
corruption.
Oh. They are comfortable. They
They
are
see
very
corruption as
comfortable.
an achievement.
Yes.
I'm telling you, they see corruption as an achievement. A convoy will be passing. You see people still hailing that convoy. Yay! They see it as an achievement. That shows if they get in there, they will do the same.
Yeah. Because they don't know
You
anything
know,
else. They don't know anything else. Like
they don't know anything
they don't know
else.
anything else,
They
bro.
don't know anything else.
They don't know
This thing
anything
is
else.
beyond tribalism. People like to
It's
hook
not
on tribalism.
exactly.
No,
It's not tribalism.
no,
No,
it's
it's
beyond
hunger,
tribalism. It's
corruption.
beyond tribalism. It's just the deep, very deep corruption. And
Yeah.
why that corruption is possible is because our constitution never ever got a proper look at. During the colonial era, yeah, the constitution that we are using now is pretty much the same
Yeah. Yeah.
constitution that the British used
Yeah.
during the colonial era. Now, when the military took over, they just changed keynotes. They just changed some words and taglines in it to make it suit them. Then, when we went back to civilian government, they come and they just tweak and change a few things. There is
Yeah.
no structural change.
Yeah.
That is why a politician can arrest somebody, or a rich man can arrest somebody if you say something bad about them.
Ah.
Defamation
Imagine.
is still an arrestable crime in Nigeria. I know people that live in the West, when we hear about that, we say it's just defamation. Yeah, you can't arrest somebody. But in Nigeria, if you speak bad about somebody, they can arrest you, because they are still operating on a colonial era, what's it called? Constitution. Nigeria needs a proper revolution. People need to get up and say, here, we are going to suspend this constitution. Like what Ibrahim Traore did. Like all these Mali, they suspended their constitution, the
Yeah.
one that the French wrote for them. You suspend it and you write your own.
Yeah. Lazy now.
Democracy is not a problem.
It's not. See, bro.
Democracy works.
Okay. So okay. Last one. I'll come to you, brother. Let me give Solomon and Fleur a chance to speak.
Yeah.
But before I give it to them, see, I don't know if you guys have seen this video of Ibrahim Traore in Ghana for the inauguration of John Mahama, the new president of Ghana, right? If you see the way the Ghanaians were hailing Ibrahim Traore, have you guys seen that video? Like, it was, bruh. You would think Ibrahim Traore was the new president of Ghana that wanted to just go. The people were hailing this guy, following his car. That told me many things. Last Man King and others. It told me that the average African, it doesn't matter whether you are a military president, it doesn't matter whether you are a king, it doesn't matter whether you are a democratic president. If you are doing the job and standing by the side of the average African, they will support you. A lot of people, a lot of Africa, especially West Africans, we don't know what it's like to have a president, a leader that fights for us in our corner. We don't know. So when we see, even if that guy is not, see, Ibrahim Traore can contest election now in any West African country. If it's up to the people, he will be the president. I swear, he will win. He can say, I want to be president. People are hailing him. If it is up to the people, the average African, Not again, no, I'm not talking about political structure because that's when it gets chaotic. If it's up to the average me and you in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Benin Republic, in Togo, in Senegal, that guy is winning the election. Anyway, let's go to so we have Fleur and Solomon. I don't know who wants to go first. Anybody that unmutes first can speak. I think Fleur is unmuted already. Fleur, go ahead, here. Welcome. Your network is not is looking red though, so maybe
Thank you.
you will
Hello,
experience that.
everybody.
Hi, Fleur. Welcome.
Yes, nice to meet you all. I'm Ivorian, by the way,
Ça
but
va? Vous allez bien?
yes. So, oui, oui, ça va bien, merci. Et chez vous?
Excellent.
Okay. What I wanted to say is that my father used to be a diplomat. So, around Laurent Gbagbo time, don't know if you know Laurent Gbagbo. Yes, the ex-Ivorian president, and he
Yeah.
was a little bit like
Yes.
Ibrahim Traoré. And at that time, the
Our
Ivorian
president
people,
was
like,
also corrupt. Oh.
which Laurent Gbagbo?
Just make a point, please. Make a point. Let her make a point, and
Yes,
you make a point.
exactly. And Laurent Gbagbo was, at the time he was president, he decided that we will no longer use the French vecifier, the XOF, from the French, because what happened is like we print our money in France, and when they print our money, they were the one deciding how much they have to give back to Ivory Coast, and after deciding
Yeah,
what
that was
we have to
crazy.
get from that money, then they also take something like, yes, they also take something like colonial debts,
Wow.
that they say that in the colonization time they have how to say they have some buildings in Ivory Coast, they gave us the French language and all that, so they also take some colonial debt from that money. So what happened was like when Laurent Gbagbo came, Ivory Coast price of cacao went up and the country was no longer in debt. We were in debt, but not like as we are now. So then they make a coup, and then that's why they took Laurent Gbagbo to jail and all that stuff. So now that Alassane Ouattara is president, what happened is like we have a massive immigration from Lebanese people that actually are taking all the resources of Ivory Coast, and like as a typical Ivorian, you can't even build a house. The ground is no longer yours. They sell all the grounds to all the lands to the Lebanese people, all of the lands. And before in Ivory Coast, when you have to buy a land, you go to the villagers. Maybe the king of the village, he can give you an attest.
Yeah.
And recently, like I think the day before yesterday, what they did, like they did a new constitution, and the constitution states that the king of every village are no longer allowed to sell the land.
Wow.
Only the state can now sell the lands.
Wow.
So now,
It's
Ivorian, we are in a
crazy.
social position where, yes, we can no longer acquire a land, exactly like in Europe. Like even if you buy a house, the house is still not yours. That's what is happening in Ivory Coast now. That's what is
Wow.
happening.
And
So we no longer
is he
own
opening?
our.
Why do Lebanese people have such? Why Ivory Coast? Why? Because I've heard there's a large Lebanese population in Ivory Coast. Why is that? Fleur.
I think the new president sold the country, to be
Ha.
honest. I think he sold the country because at the time Laurent Gbagbo was there, he was not really agreeing with the new, the French constitution, because truth be told, all the French colonized countries, sorry for my English, yeah, all the French colonized countries are actually owned by France.
Yeah.
We are not really independent. All
Yep.
our money is printed in France. Yes, all our money is printed in France, and they decide, after they print the money, they decide how much we have to get to survive.
What?
They take our resources, they take everything. So all the country, even the buildings, they say, Ivory Coast infrastructure is really nice, but the buildings are built on debt.
Yeah, but why?
But when Laurent Gbagbo was here,
Why
Laurent
do
Gbagbo,
African presidents do this, guys? Like, I'm curious, Fleur, and for everybody else, why? Like, I don't understand. Like, why? Why they do this to their people? It blows my mind.
what I got from my dad, because he was a diplomat around Laurent Gbagbo time, and
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why they never put him ambassador, because he didn't want to be corrupt. What I heard from him is like, at the colonization time, they already select who they are going to use to manipulate the country. They have already select the people that they want to use. And when they select you, then you have to do the jobs for them. And once you don't do that, then you are persona non grata. That's what's happening. And Laurent Gbagbo was a persona non grata because before he even became a president, he was put to jail for 10 years in Ivory Coast. When he came out, he became the president. At that time, he was still a student at the university when they put him to jail because he was a really outspoken person. He was for the people. So when he came out, he became like a Nelson Mandela for Ivory Coast. He became president, but they saw that they were losing a lot of money because he didn't want to use the money that they were printing. He was just using internal money. It means like when we sell from the market, Ivory Coast, the own money that people make in Ivory Coast, that's what he was using. He wasn't using the printed money anymore. So they start losing like some money. So that's why they put him in jail and they put Alassane Dramane. Actually, after Houphouët-Boigny died, Alassane Dramane was the one supposed to be president since then. But it didn't work out that way because the second president was Henri Konan Bédié, that died now, vote against it. Because when the president died, I think it's the assembly that has to vote who has to be president.
I'll just tell you
So
guys, you need to
the
get
Henri
you
Konan
need
Bédié,
to get the Lebanese out of your country ASAP, quickly.
that's what we are trying to do. This new generation actually are trying to get the Lebanese out of the country because when they came, they raped, they kill, and there is no consequences. They do a lot of bad shit. So, excuse my language. So
No,
the
it's okay.
new population is trying to fight them. But how can you fight them when your government doesn't want you to fight them? They even make they even make a deal with Morocco, which means that all Ivorians that want to go to Morocco, they don't need a visa. That's how much they solve the country.
Morocco.
Yes,
crazy.
because they have a deal with a Moroccan king, I believe.
So it's for the Lebanese people actually,
So
not for you.
Yeah, exactly. So now everybody, like all Ivorians, they can go to Morocco and they don't need visa and all that stuff. So most of the country, like the place that they call Assini Mafia, all those Assini Mafia is like the Beverly Hills of Ivory Coast, and all those houses that are around there are all owned by Lebanese people. All the shops, all the big houses are all owned by the Lebanese people. So when Laurent Gbagbo came, he wanted to work with the Russian and the Chinese because the Chinese have a better deal when it comes to build infrastructure, and the Russian wanted to give us some military forces and at a better deal than the French does, because what the French do is like they put a base in each francophone country so that they can steal, not to protect but to steal. So Laurent Gbagbo wanted to use a Russian army, wanted to work with Russia. That's why all the fights came from. They didn't want us to work with Russia. They didn't want us to work with the Chinese.
Okay, Fleur.
So they started a coup.
Yeah. Okay, Fleur, I'll come back to you.
So it's a little bit hard.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a lot more questions for you, dear. Okay, but I want to make sure everybody gets to speak. Okay. Solomon, go ahead, Solomon.
Yeah, good evening, my brother.
Solomon, I greet you, sir. How you doing now?
Yeah, man. If you start talking about this issue of me, I live in UK here. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. For now, I'm just in university. I'm trying to draw out so many plans, but I have one important idea that we should try to form our own party. If you look at the dry issue right now, is that the youth, most of the youth, they are waking up.
I agree. Something like that.
Most of the youth are waking up.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the youth, they are waking up, but which of these party are they going to align with? Because, for example, right now in Nigeria, we don't have any opposition. If you look at PDP, APC, even the Labour Party, they are all the same. They don't have any ideology. We should try to create a party where the women can feel safe to be on the party, the youth can feel safe to be on the party. So once we have a party like that, we will know that okay, this is the party we are going to align with. So this is where the youth are going to follow. You understand? We will have our own ideology. If you look at the party right now in UK, which is the Reform, it's a very growing party. They have an ideology. So we should start from that. We people that are in abroad here, we are, let me say, we are more enlightened than those people back home. We can start from here. We can fund it. So if we can start from here, we will know that we the youth will know where they belong to. Because if you have to do election today, we still have to go back to this party. We still have to go back to them because if you look at the most popular party in Nigeria, PDP, APC, and Labour, they are still full of these corrupt people. So if we the youth, I really want to do this. If we the youth, if we really want to change something, we should build a base, which means a party where we all can work with the ideology that we have and the plan that we are going to achieve it. So that's what I want to say.
I agree. Solomon, I agree with the idea. Now, how to do it, I don't know. I've never thought about doing political party or all that stuff. But I
Can I say
think,
something?
who's that?
Sorry, I wanted to add something to
Somebody
Solomon's
say we're
idea.
worried about border boy. I swear, Nigerians will always. I see what. I'm sorry, that was so funny and so random. V, it's true. We are always no, but it's okay. Let them focus on what they are focusing on. But the people that are like Solomon and everybody else will focus and they will join. And before I pass, before I pass the mic to let me in, bro. I think we need. It's not about tribalism. To be honest with you, I have a solution to fix tribalism in Nigeria. The solution is very simple. Give people opportunities. Meritocracy, meritocracy, meritocracy. May the best man win. If the best person for anything is from a small village in Akwa Ibom State and their work has shown that they are the best, let them get the job. There has to be a harsh punishment for tribalism and discrimination. If it is a woman that is the best thing for that job, and that's what if I am in a political party, that's what that political party is going to be all about. Like the political party of meritocracy, the political party that works hand in hand with with the people, a political party that will give you results. Because that's what the average Nigerian wants. Do you think the average Nigerian really gives a fuck if you're Igbo or Hausa or Yoruba? The only reason the average Nigerian cares about these things is because they're hungry. It's because they've seen all the time tribalism and discrimination being used against everybody. That is why it matters. But could you imagine in 10, 15 years if the average Nigerian starts seeing that, oh, hold on, I can get the job. I can get admission regardless of where I come from. If you do this for 10, 15 years consistently in Nigeria, tribalism, I'm not saying tribalism is going to go away totally, but it will decline. But who wants to go? Sorry. Is it let me, bro? Sorry, let me go. Let me hasn't spoken. Let him speak, and then we can have an open panel. Go ahead, bro. Welcome.
Okay. Solomon's idea about creating a political party is actually a very good idea. I also agree with that. But I do need to say, making the party outside of Nigeria is just going to turn into a classist problem very fast, very quickly. Not to mention, if you do it outside of Nigeria, the West, mind you, these guys are still our enemies. They might act like they are friends or they are just neutral overseers, but they are still your enemy. If you become too serious and not some joke that they can just laugh at and put on the news to say, oh, black activism, XYZ, whatever, they like put it in the news, forget about it. If you don't become that kind of thing and you are genuinely a movement not to be reckoned with, you will just end up like every single black or African oriented movement abroad. The Black Panther Party, all of those groups removed. Why? Because they were becoming formidable fools. So making the political party abroad is literally setting up yourself for failure. Not because it's a bad idea, but it's like building your house on a bad foundation. That's what I just wanted to add as insights for Solomon. But I do agree.
Could you okay, I see, again, I also agree with Solomon. I think it's a great idea. But what would you suggest though? Let me in, bro, or Solomon, or whoever wants to add to that. Like, what would you suggest? Let me in, bro, from your perspective, then maybe I can go to Solomon.
Okay, a political party in Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
my idea would be, if you are thinking of the people abroad, the diaspora Nigerians, to make it not devolve into this weird situation of constant rich man versus poor man.
I like
It should
that
work in
point
a
too,
hand
because we
in.
have a classism problem in Nigeria too. That's what really caught my attention from your point. But go on,
Yes,
you're
very
right though.
true. It should, so as to make that not end up in that situation, they should do it that both groups, the wealthy Nigerians who are in diaspora, who are aware of what is going on, and the Nigerians who are in Nigeria, who are automatically defaulted to a poor class because of the way Nigerians' economy operates. They should work hand in hand in the sense that the diasporans, with their money, fund the political party, while the individuals in Nigeria run the political party. But they don't just publicly say they are funding the political party. They secretly do it covertly. And it will not be difficult, because who is going to look at some random Nigerian sending money to their home country? No one cares. The thing about Nigeria, not just Nigeria, Africa as a whole, is that we have an opportunity. One opportunity, it might look like a disadvantage right now, but I personally believe it's a very, very hard to get and unique opportunity. That opportunity is that we as a people are not taken seriously. I know it might sound sad and disappointing, but it's a good thing. There is a saying that says, sometimes to fool the fool who thinks he's fooling you, you have to act like a fool.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that because no one is paying attention to us, we should be using this small sliver of chance that we have to organize ourselves under their noses.
Mm. Mm, mm, mm,
Like
mm,
now,
mm.
if we were to make a political party, as Solomon said, to organize it in Nigeria, it shouldn't be something that just pops out of nowhere to make it like a grand stage. It should be a gradual thing, a seed left and right. First, we appear in churches, not just major places, small places to get the people to see, there's something brewing, but they will not be aware. But they will be agreeing with whatever is being fed in their mouths. You put individuals who have ideals like us in the media, occasionally antagonizing the government or complaining about issues. The government might decide to get pissed and go angry at them and try to arrest them, but we can use those people to represent as martyrs, essentially freedom fighters, to give people hope. The thing about Nigeria is that, unfortunately, it's a very risky game to liberate Nigerians, and not just Nigerians, Africa as a whole, because unfortunately, the major nations, South Africa, Nigeria, Congo, those nations with the good resources that are a little bit more powerful than the other African nations, even Ghana too, they have an issue of cowardice. Majority of the people, even though they always act so patriotic, they are actually very fearful of their own country.
Mm-hmm.
And not just their own country, they are fearful of themselves. Like, if you ask a Nigerian right now to take up arms and fight for his people, he would literally look at you, spit on your face, and tell you that, for where, how would I do that? You are mad, you dey craze, and then run to another country. Mind you, risking his life to go to another country instead of fighting for his own country. So because of this very, very like sharp disconnect, to make people actually come together, you would actually need to throw seeds, mental seeds. I know I don't like using the word this way, but essentially propaganda.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We need
Propagandize the
propaganda.
people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Propagandize
It's
it.
the right word, bro.
Make them see it. Make them see it in your own light. Because at the end of the day, it's not them that are making the decisions. The government is already lying to them. It's better for you to use them for good rather than them to fall into the hands of evil.
True, true. Okay. I hear you, bro. Man, people have made some fucking amazing points. Solomon, you want to add to that? Then after that, we can have an open panel. We can go to Tata so that everybody can talk. Because I have a question for Fleur. Because I'm so curious about Francophone Africa, and I really want to learn from her as well. So, but I want to make sure everybody has spoken. Solomon, I
I
want you
would
to
like to share
respond.
something later as well.
I would like
Okay.
to say
Oh,
Yeah.
something, having
okay. So
spoken.
Okay.
Solomon
Let
respond.
me just quickly chip in.
Yeah, please go.
Yeah. So I'm not saying this is going to be an easy thing, you understand? It's not going to be an easy thing, and also it's going to take some time, you understand? So, but it's very important that we that are in diaspora, we are very enlightened, you understand? So we need to also contribute like funding and so many other things. We can't just create a party and allow those in Nigeria to operate the party. You understand? We will become the major beneficiary, like let me say stakeholder. We also monitor everything that is going on, so that the party should not be anybody that, for example, anybody that's able to get in to any position, we'll be able to tell him that this is what you want us, this is what we want you to do. Just like some of the Labour Party that get into Senate, they win the election into Senate. When they get there, they don't know what to do. So at the end, they end up changing from one party to the other one, converting to APC and the other thing. The reason why that thing happened is that because they were not given any assignment. They just jump into Labour Party, they won, and they went there. They saw other people doing, they don't know what to do. So the first thing is just to make sure that we have a community. Let's try and have a community. Like your platform is there. I see some other people, they are also talking about this. So gradually like this, everybody will become enlightened. But I know that definitely many people in Nigeria, they are very tired. They are
They're
tired of
tired. It's the
this
right time.
stupid system.
Guys, this is actually the right time
Just,
to tell. Let me in, bro, and
yeah,
Solomon. It's the right time now, bro. People are pissed.
yeah. If you look at what happened in Labour Party, not that people voted for Obi because they are tired. They want something new. Imagine if a young person come up and a young person that is very vibrant. What do you think will happen? Everybody will vote for that person. And also, most of our youth, I discovered that most of them didn't even participate. So that one can also draw most of them to get voters card and start participating in the election. We have, I think Africa have 75% youth.
Yes.
Imagine
that.
we have a large number of youth. So
Exactly.
and this we are also addicted to internet and so many things. So
Yeah.
we have more advantage here.
Okay.
What we
Okay.
need is, I
Okay.
think,
No.
a lot of the
Sorry, bro.
youths.
Is that Meso? Sorry, because on my laptop I cannot see
Meso,
everybody's name. Is it Meso speaking?
Meso, Meso,
Meso.
yes.
Tatafo was here first, brother. Let Tatafo speak,
Ah,
and then I'll
okay,
come to
sorry.
you, and then we'll go to Leslie,
Okay,
and then we can go open panel. Okay, sir.
all right, cool.
Fantastic. Tatafo, sir, go ahead. The floor is yours. Then after you, we'll go to Meso, then we go to Leslie.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Hi, Tatafo. Welcome, sir.
Can you guys? Okay. Can you guys hear me very well?
Yes, but there's a bit of background noise, but it's okay. Go on. We can hear you. We can hear you good enough.
Okay. All right. So, for me, because I believe some of you might have heard of Mr. Omoyele Sowore. I was just having a thought. I think that was yesterday, and I was saying to myself that are Nigerians actually listening to the likes of Omoyele Sowore? Omoyele Sowore has run for the Nigerian president, I think twice now. And if we are actually looking for somebody who can be at the forefront of these all issues going on in Nigeria, then Nigerians should be, thinking of the likes of Mr. Moyole Showore. Now, I am not a Yoruba man. I am a Delta man, but I will boldly tell you that the only person that I have come to see that is actually qualified to become the next president, not just the next president, but somebody who can actually hold the past leaders accountable. He is the only one who can do that, and of which your president, the ex-president, the ex-governors, the ex-senators, they are aware of it. So, and not just that, he created a party called AAC, which I believe some of us are familiar with this party as well. So for me, if we are actually thinking of creating a party, why don't we build on the foundation that the likes of Omoyele Sowore has already built? Because for me, one of the biggest problem I've come to understand is that we still don't know what we want. That is it. These are still part of our problems as human, especially Nigerians. If we can actually figure out the likes of Mr. Moyele Sowore, trust me, if we can rally up, because there is nobody out there right now who can actually challenge these guys rather than the likes of Moyele Sowore.
What do you think of Peter Obi?
Nigeria needs
Meso.
So
Tatafo, sorry.
Okay, cool. I like. All right, I love this question. Mr. Peter Obi is a very good man, but the current situation that Nigeria is right now wouldn't need people like that. We will all understand he has good intention, but trust me, how bold he is, can he actually be bold enough to confront these people? These are the questions that Nigerians need to be asking. It's not just all about, because politics is a dirty game, and for you to get it clean, your hands has to be dirty. There are so many things that Peter Obi cannot come out to speak, on of which he knew that these things are wrong. He don't. I don't see him like the man who has this balls to come and say these things. But the likes of Moyele Sowore would definitely spit it out. So these are the kind of leaders Nigerians need to be yearning for. Not, of course, he's a good man. He can, do better. He has the potential. He has the vision. But trust me, we also, when Ibrahim Traore came to Ghana, the world has gone far where we need smart people in the game, people who
True.
not just this good heart. No, we need more than good heart.
Action takers.
Because trust me, let me say this before I round up. Yeah. Let me say this before I round up. Look, whoever that is coming into the game right now, if it is Peter Obi or Mr. Moyele Sowore, whoever it may be, if he is not ready to go after the ex-president and the ex-senators and the ex-governors, then he should just forget about it. Because these guys are the people who stole the money that can be used to better the life of those who are actually suffering right now. Anything more than that, just forget about it.
Okay.
So for now, I will just mute and allow other people to talk.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that. So I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let everybody speak. So Meso, you're next, sir. After Meso, we're going to go to Leslie. Yes. After Leslie, we just have I'll go to Lefleur, and then we can have an open panel. Meso, go ahead, sir.
Yes. Hi. I think we don't need politicians. We don't need sweet talking people. All these sweet talkers. We need people like Ibrahim Traore, people that just get down to business.
Action takers. I think action. Yeah.
Action takers, yes. So I think the reason why the youth in certain African countries are fighting hard enough is because they are disillusioned. Because for years they've been hearing promises after promises, but not really seeing action. Was now in the between Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, you're actually seeing people taking action, and the youth in those countries are even signing up to join the army because they're seeing things being done. So I think that's what we need. That's what I have to say.
Okay, thank you so much, Meso. And Meso, I agree with you. I think we are so done with the blah blah blah, right, Meso? Like, I think it's time for just who's going to do the job. And I
Right.
think it's the heat is even rising, Meso, because now we have a reference, Ibrahim Traore. Not just Ibrahim
Exactly.
Traore, but the guys in Mali and Niger. It can be done.
Niger, yeah. Exactly.
It can be
So
done.
there's no more excuses.
No, none. I mean, what else? These guys have shown that you can stand up against the people. So the people that it can be done. And I'm going to go to Leslie after this. It shows that the average African, the average black African, as long as you are fighting in our corner as a leader, and we don't care whether you're military, we don't care. Ibrahim Traore is a military president of Burkina Faso. But the average people don't care. We don't care. That's something I said. We don't need democracy in Africa. We need a leader that's moving in the right direction. Period. That's all we need.
Exactly.
And the people don't see the people. Did you see the video from Ghana? They were hailing. You would have thought he was the king of West Africa.
The king
and
over there.
He kind of is.
Exactly.
He kind of is.
He's a figurehead.
Yes. And they were hailing him. They were chanting. Even the president of Ghana, like, they came, the people were even hailing him more than they were hailing me. And it's my inauguration. You would have thought it was Ibrahim's inauguration. That tells you that if the African people see that this guy is fighting in our corner, they will fight for you too. But we haven't had leaders that are fighting in our corner. I mean, Fleur just spoke about how if her own president is selling her own country out to the Lebanese. Why are they going to fight for you? They're not going to fight for you. You don't fight for them. But Leslie, go speak, sir. After Leslie, we're going to go to Becca. And then, no, after Leslie, I'll ask Fleur some questions and then we can have an open panel. Fleur, Leslie, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kingsley. This has been a really enlightening conversation, and a lot of great points have been dropped here. I for one would first and foremost say that anyone that's going to do anything in Nigeria, I would say don't do it alone. The leadership in Nigeria right now, if you're going to bring any major change, you have to go as a group. It has to be. That's why I put my original point that it has to be dual formative consortium where you have a consortium of people in diaspora here. And my first point is that we can affect change. First of all, by dealing with when these people come to England, the US, or any part of the Western world, call them out. We can call them out here without fear of reprimand, because the government in this country will protect us. So we can call them out. We can begin to call these people out. So it makes it uncomfortable for them to be here. When they are here, call them out for the things they are doing. Legally call out what they are doing. I think there was something that happened a while back with the Nigerian High Commission a few years ago that led to some protests. And it brought in a level of change that shocked me. And it happened here in the UK. So we can do something now. We can. But I would say that in terms of even having an effective plan of how we're going to effect change, my thing, because I'm coming from a background in technology, is to start small projects that will begin to give people a feeling of accomplishment, so that when they start to see things that whatever we are doing, whatever project we set up in Nigeria, when these things start to have a conversion of change and they begin to see that they are getting rewarded a consistent pay over a year, that is the first sign of that will be, I believe, will be one of the things that will start affecting change on the ground level, at a grassroots level, is that there has to be things that people can see a change over a period of time, that they are rewarded for, they are being paid for, and they are seeing that benefit. And I feel those are the first sets of change. And I think that has to be done as a group. There has to be a set group, a set project, and set things that can be accomplished within a 6 months to 1 year period that brings in those monetary economic changes within a year. That's the second part of it.
But any government that any level of governmental change where Nigeria is concerned is going to have to be a consortium of groups of people, groups of certain things that, okay, this is going to be the legal aspect in terms of, do we rewrite the constitution? Because if we're going to bring change, we have to first of all know what our constitution is right now and where we can actually change a constitution that is going to work. So there has to be a group just set for that here, and begin to effect that change over there. So we have a group of people in Nigeria that we're liaising with back and forth regularly. And I think the second level of change is infrastructural change. There has to be that. But my final point in all of this is that I live in the UK, and I would say in the last 5-6 years, I have been shocked with the amount of Africans from whether it's Djibouti. I have people that I work with who are from Djibouti, Gambia, Ghana, who are Nigeria is integral to how they see change in Africa. I was told by someone in Gambia that a lot of the government in Gambia was set up by Nigerians. A lot of the business in Gambia and in Ethiopia is done by Nigerians. So, and I'm not even mentioning South Africa. So Nigerians are very, very crucial to how Africa is seen. And that's why, especially in diaspora, we have a great responsibility now to no longer sit back, to no longer just think. And those who are going to be part of this change, I would say they should not be connected to the current government.
Oh no,
there are a lot
absolutely.
of Nigerians who are doing very well, both in the UK and US, who are doing very well, who have made their money in the US, made their money in the UK, and parts of other parts of Europe, and even in Asia, that it's not connected to Nigerian money. It's not connected to government money. And those are the people that I feel, those of us who can start to bring that change will be very invested to fund what's going to happen in Nigeria. So that's what I want to say on that. But Nigeria, that people are going to die for, we have to give them a glimmer of something that, okay, I can see a change. I've begun to see and taste a change, and I started to benefit from it, and I'm directly connected to it. I think then I think will there be people that are willing to change. My last point is, ultimately for me, this has been my dream. Those people from the 70s, 80s who are still in this government today, I just feel they need to put them in one room and unalive all of them.
Blow them up.
Just wipe them all out, because honestly, they're a cancer that they have just refused. They're like a stubborn cancer that just don't want to change. They just don't want to get it. And I just feel it's time for them to just be completely wiped out. But that's a later point.
Absolutely.
Sorry, one more thing before I go. I would say, anyone who's even going to Nigeria and you're affecting change, I would say don't speak directly to the guys there now. As in, I would even say if you begin to make some waves, I would say don't even bother dealing with those people immediately. I think that's a secondary stage of development but the first stage is to show infrastructural change and to begin to show legal constitutional change of where we want Nigeria to go as a nation. So when these things, revolutions start taking place, we have things in place to move that in. I'll leave it there. Thank you so much for your time.
Leslie, before you drop, I like the way you categorized it, because it's practical, right? Show people something for them to die for. You understand? If you tell the average Nigerian, bro, die for the country, they're gonna laugh in your face. It's the truth.
Of course.
What's there to die for? We have no lights, no jobs, corruption is everywhere. What die for what? So, and that's why for me, and to Tata Four's point again, I'm borrowing from Leslie's point to respond to Tata Four. Like, why don't I want to support existing systems? It's because I cannot trust the existing system, Tata Four. I can't trust it. Like this Showore guy and even Peter Obi. Listen, I'm sure they are cool guys, but I cannot trust their own, because you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Me, what I want to do is I want to start my own with people with the same mindset that want Nigeria to grow. Like someone like me now, for example.
Yes.
What are you going to say to me that's going to make me like, man, yes, let me sell Nigeria? No, I cannot, because I've traveled abroad. I've seen foreign currency. I'm a minimalist by nature. I like money like everybody else, but bro, selling my country for what? That's my mindset already. So somebody like me, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but if you're gonna tell me, dude, sell Nigeria. Oh, let's destroy this. Let's. Oh, you tell me. Oh, Kingsley, you're the president of Nigeria. We need you to turn a blind eye. Let us destroy this entire village for Germans to come. Man, fuck you. No. Why would I do that? I've lived in Germany. You tell us to go go back to your country or whatever they tell us as Africans. Now we are in our country. You want to come and fuck our country up? No, go back or follow the law. But you have to understand, Leslie, to your last point. You need to keep in mind that the crop of African presidents that we are dealing with right now, most of them are a completely different generation. A lot of them are the ones that put us in this shit. You have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
A lot,
Definitely.
exactly, and that's why I agree with it. They need to be finished, because if you look at Tinubu, look at Yaradua, you look at the president of Ghana, the guys in Uganda, Cameroon, they were even, I'm sure, a lot of the francophone.
Cameroon he's been there for how many years?
40 years
how many
plus.
Years is the guy in Cameroon? Yeah.
So, but
he's over 90 now.
Yeah, he's 90 something. My point is this.
Yeah.
These guys, they are from that like colonial, me first mentality. But you can see, when you now have the new generation of African leaders, like the guy in Senegal now, right? I don't remember his name, but you know, Senegal have a new president, a very skinny guy like that. You can already see the difference in approach. He has already given Tell France to fuck
off.
And
I think that's Akon influence. I think that's part of what Akon, when he started to do certain things there, I think Akon's going back to start some projects he did. I think that was where this thing started.
Yeah.
Was when Akon started to do physical projects that people could start seeing that was benefiting them.
Could be. But my point is, the president of, does somebody know his name? The guy in Senegal. There are two guys, but he's a new guy though. But you can see the difference in him. He doesn't fear France. I want you guys to understand. He doesn't fear France. He challenges France. He walks. He talks, because he knows that France needs him more than he needs France. That's the fact. The new crop of African leader, the young, like between 40s, late 30s, early 40s, that range, they don't fear France. They've realized that France needs them more than they need France. Like, see, West Africa can live without France. France cannot live without West Africa.
Yes.
They can't. That's a fact.
And that realization changes.
Yes, fine. That's his name. And the thing is this: you can see Macron in France is already crying. Because why? A lot of the former French colonists are pulling away from him. He's crying. He's really crying, because he was like, you guys are not grateful. You saw the video now. It went viral. Like, you Africans are not grateful. He's panicking.
Grateful for what? For putting them in bondage and giving them unnecessary bondage.
He's a fool. Anyway, let's give other people age. Flo, I have a question for you, dear.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome, Leslie. Leslie, I might reach out to you for a podcast session, just to like talk about like the steps on planning, or how to like step by step plan. Okay, bro?
No problem. Not a problem. Thank
fantastic. You. Anytime. Flo, I have a question for like because I don't know much about Francophone Africa. Do you? But then again, I feel like there's a revolution happening in Francophone Africa. Flo, would you agree with like Burkina Faso,
Yes.
Mali, Niger, Senegal, Guinea? I hear Guinea is also like what do you think as a Francophone Africa? I don't like, let me not say Francophone, fuck it. As a West African in the French part.
Actually, the revolution in French country started with Mohamed Gaddafi.
Oh.
When he proposed the creation of gold-backed African currency.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and he started because Gaddafi also was tired of the French people. He was also tired that his country was used by Africans to go to the West. So he decided that we should make a gold-backed currency that will make us, come up again. And the French people were not really happy again because of it, because they don't have any gold. So if us Africans start to use our gold as currency, then you see then the economy will fall down. So when they killed Gaddafi, then the people that was for Gaddafi were not happy. And that's where the revolution started. And it started in Niger, and then it started in Guinea, and then Mali, and then all the way around. And I'm really happy because the day before yesterday, when the Ivorian population starts crying because they were not happy that the Lebanese were taking all the land and all the money, the president now decided that the French army should no longer be in Ivory Coast by the end of 2025.
Yeah. The president gave I saw the news. He gave a demand.
Yes, he gave demand. After the Senegal president also gave demand that the French military base should no longer be in Ivory Coast, in Senegal, and in Niger by the end of 2025. But still, there is still a lot of work to do because, of course, the military base won't be there anymore. But does that mean that they will no longer have influence in Ivory Coast economy?
No.
Yes. So it could be just talking. Because in Ivory Coast now, like point blank, like we have infrastructure, but we are hungry. Let's say that the country looks nice, it looks, perfect, but people are hungry because there is no job. There is too much nepotism.
Oh yeah.
In Ivory Coast, we don't have tribalism, but we have so much nepotism. It's like somebody can be a doctor even without having a degree, just because his father is a hospital director. There is also human trafficking at the hospital. You go for simple malaria, you die because people want to harvest your organs.
What
so
the fuck?
It's really organized crime.
What?
It's a really good organized crime. Women go to give birth. They say your baby has died, but they don't even see the baby. They don't see the baby corpse. Because
shit.
they sold the baby to someone. The problem is really deep.
I didn't even know that.
The problem, and there is also money laundering. Like those 1xBet project, all that is money laundering. All those betting programs that they are doing is also money laundering. So politically, they are trying their best to get the population to calm down, but systematically, there is a lot of crime going on. A lot.
Anytime I hear this like organ harvesting, I automatically look at the Middle Easterners, man, because I don't know. Just make sure if are the Lebanese involved in like your hospitals, because that's their thing, like taking organs and stuff.
Yes, we believe it because
it's them. I know because it's a thing. It's a thing in the Middle East.
Hungry. Yes, a simple man who is hungry. I mean, of course, when they want to harvest, they use black doctors or Africans so that they won't eat to them. But they're the one, they're the one ruling it. Because a lot of women has been going to give birth and they say they come home without the baby. Where is the baby? Oh, the baby has died. Okay, where is the baby cups? No baby cups. Someone go to hospital for simple malaria, it doesn't wake up. And so recently they arrested a lot of influencers because they were onto money laundering. And when they asked them, and it was the new judge is a really young woman. She is 40. And she made a new constitution regarding money laundering. And she came up front and she said she doesn't want to have any more of any of those betting society, like betting companies, like 1xBet and other betting companies, because they're actually money laundering. It's not genuine.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah.
Wow.
So the revolution is more internally, actually, in the French countries. Of course, the military base, they asked the military to go, and then so France has no more money now because Nigeria doesn't want to give them money, and Senegal actually, the country is now developed because the diaspora decided to build the country infrastructures by themselves, not by the help of a state.
Yeah.
So what I know from my Senegalese friends is that they have a diaspora group where they make project and each of them, put some money in it and they go back to Senegal and build hospitals and build schools and build
community development
and all that. Exactly, community development and all that are private. It belongs to private people. It doesn't belong to the state. So that's why, and now, and since they start building schools, so the level of illiteracy went down. So of course, when the level of illiteracy goes down, then the mentality also change. And when the mentality change, then it's easier for them to come up with the ideas about how to develop the country more.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, when you're not hungry, you can think.
Exactly. So that's why Senegal is up front now. And then I believe that in Africa, most of our problem is illiteracy. Because, for instance, in Ivory Coast, more than, I think, 56% of the population is illiterate. But illiterate, they are hungry. What
Yeah.
can you tell them to fight for the country?
Nothing. Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing. So, yeah. So yes. So that's the problem. So all those French, how to say, French Revolution, French country revolution started after Muammar Gaddafi died. Because people were really hopeful. The Francophone countries were really hopeful that something would change, like something new will happen. Then he died, and then yes.
Got
So
you.
people start to yes.
No.
But Ivory Coast is really
No, thanks for sharing that. Thanks for educating me, Fleur Bell. I did not again. I did not know much about like the French speaking part of West Africa. I mean, of course, I saw the news and Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali, Ivory Coast, and the request for the French to leave leave the bases. But yeah, just to bring it back to the Nigeria conversation, I do agree, Solomon, with the political party or a lobby group, or something like that. But I feel like that us as the Nigerian diaspora, we need to align more. We need to align more, and also we need to build our own social media platform, guys. I don't know why. I'm sure it's happening somewhere, but if anybody knows like a social media that was built by Africans for Africa, share with me. I would love to interview those people to talk to them because we need a platform. We need a platform for us by us so that we can speak and share our own issues. We cannot be depending on TikTok all the time. We cannot be depending on Facebook. It's not our algorithm. It's not our own. So we need to build our own an app just like TikTok, whatever. And when it comes to Nigeria, for example, again, I'm going to focus on Nigeria. When it comes to Nigeria, content is not the problem. The average Nigerian is an average content creator. It's no problem. The question is, how can we create a social media platform that pays people? It pays the Nigerian for joining, that for your creativity you can get money. It's engaging, it keeps people on the platform, and it educates. These are the three things we need to do. Yeah.
I'm actually trying to develop one, but I'm all alone because I'm a software engineer.
Really?
Yes, and I'm trying to do it, but it's really hard to find other African with the same idea of the same, mind
Reach out
to
to me.
do it.
Reach out to me in my DMs. Let's talk about that. Maybe we could we could, if you're open to talk about it, we could have a podcast session on that because I want to talk to people. Who knows? If we have a podcast session talking about it, we can get more people to hear about what you're doing, and maybe even collaborate with you. Why not?
Okay.
We need to talk.
That's
That's why we have these platforms. To talk to one another and open the doors for ourselves.
Okay, that would be a great idea.
Yeah, that's good and well done. And well, that's good. I'm happy you're thinking on that. I'm happy you're thinking on that wavelength there. So, what inspired you to want to do that thing, Fleur, if I may ask you?
Actually, as I said, my father is a diplomat, and he was for Laurent Gbagbo regime, and he was against corruption. So I have learned really early what is going on in Africa, and also I didn't feel happy with the fact that how can a rich continent be so poor at the same time.
Right.
It was so paradoxal for me. And also I have seen that other countries like Asian, for example, they have their own social media.
Yeah.
They have their own life. They don't depend on the West.
They don't. They don't.
They're really well. They're doing well. And in Africa, like, as I say, you don't have a right to say something. Anytime you say something against the president or against someone, then you are put to jail. And they deprive my father from being an ambassador because it wasn't for the regime. And I don't think that's right because you have to be able to say your mind without someone wanting to kill you.
Yeah.
You have to be able to defend your country. You have to be able to eat from your soil. So I feel like we should have a safe space where people with the same mind can come and give ideas without them knowing, without having the colonizer, following us. Because, for instance, in Ivory Coast now, they change all the numbers. Like they change how our number is used to be, because the French now are monitoring everything that Ivorians say on the phone. That's what is happening. It's like in Ivory Coast now. Sometimes you call someone on the line, and it's another person picking up the phone.
Wow.
Yes, that's how monitor we are now.
It's crazy.
But in Ivory Coast, people are so
But then you're
disconnected.
gonna hear the French people talking about we don't need Africa. Africa should go back to their country. I'm like, shut the fuck up, man. I give
But now French is so poor. French is poor.
they're
Like they
poor.
don't have any
Yeah,
food.
they're poor.
Yes, all the French people are traveling to UK or to Denmark or to other countries. Even most of them now are living in Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
Most of them, they live in Ivory Coast because in French, because now it became now the new African country. Because when you go to Paris, like in Chateau Rouge, full of Africans, have nowhere to sleep, nowhere to stay.
Yeah, but they created
See,
it, man.
So the yes.
I heard something that a French billionaire is making plans on buying DSTV from the South African owners, the white South Africans that own it. They want to sell it to this French billionaire.
Yeah,
Now,
it's a
this will
thing.
tell you what's coming.
Yeah.
This will tell you what's coming. They want to totally change what everybody, and all over Africa, everybody watches DSTV. They will now start planting because they know that Africa is starting to wake up. Let me try to remember my secondary school teachings, what they told us. They said colonial era ended in either two ways. You were either assimilated, that is, the French did assimilation, the British and the others did association. That's why people still say that Nigeria is a company under the British rule. So the French, that their system of assimilation is a very tricky one, because if you check it, all these francophone countries, their currencies are printed abroad. Their currencies, they don't have the power over their own currency, even something as small as their own currency. They don't have the power over it. The French decide everything about their currency, their policies. So even looking at them back then, you would think that they were free. They were never free. They were never free. We that were colonized by the British, we were kind of free, but not free.
True.
But the French never left. They never left anywhere.
Because
They
they cannot
just
afford to.
kind of like toned down I would call it, they toned down the colonial boot. They removed the colonial boot and put on sandals instead. But they're still standing on the necks of those francophone countries.
Yeah.
Because they have nothing. They have nothing. And that's why Macron can afford to say that the African countries should say thank you. That we haven't said thank you enough.
Can you imagine that nonsense?
Said thank you enough.
You should be telling us thank you.
Have they said thank you to what they did? Have they apologized for what they did during World War One? They took a lot of African soldiers, and after the war, dumped them in Lokoja, Nigeria, in a mine, in a war camp to die. A lot of them died there. A lot of people from Niger, Burkina Faso, people that don't belong in that region, they just dumped them there to die. They did the same thing in the Second World War.
Yeah.
So it's just they are receiving their reckoning right now.
They're reckoning, bro. See, that's why for me I don't stress. I'm like, it's gonna happen. For example, if you look across Europe now, like countries that colonize everybody, they are changing. Their population is changing. You're getting replaced. And don't complain about it. You did this to us. You started this nonsense beef, bro. You're only complaining now because you're on the losing end. It's the truth. Even Germany is not innocent. Germany are
Very
hid.
true.
If you guys, do you guys know that before the Holocaust, Germany did the first extermination of the practice of this Holocaust thing in Namibia?
In
Who knows that?
Namibia.
It was in Namibia. They killed millions of Namibians, but nobody talks about that. Talking about Holocaust. Before the Holocaust, there was the genocide
It
of black
gets even
Africans in
worse.
Namibia. Go and Google
King
it.
Leopold, King Leopold killed over 20 million Congolese. Nobody's talking about it up to today.
Yeah, it's crazy. Belgium
About
was involved in that.
Namibia, about Namibia, I believe they killed the last president when he tried to work with Russia and China
They do
because he
that.
said that because he said that China doesn't ask for extra percentage. So I believe they kill him too. So I feel like what they're trying to do now is to migrate again to Africa and turn all of African countries like they do to South Africa now.
Yeah, it's
And
happening.
that's what is happening to Ivory Coast. And the last war that happened in Lebanon recently made a lot of Lebanese people come even more, and that's where Ivorian population wake up because they were like, "What is happening? When we go to their country, they don't
And
want
they
us as
don't exactly,
refugees."
exactly. Don't treat them well. Treat them like fucking shit
Yes.
because they treat us like shit in their countries, throwing us out of window. Fuck them. I don't like them. I don't like Lebanese, man. They're fucking
Even
beasts.
Senegalese government has forbidden Lebanese women to give birth in Senegal because they
Yeah.
forbid African women to give birth in
Exactly.
Lebanon.
Exactly.
That's
Period.
when, yes.
If I was the man, if I had
Yeah.
power, I would treat you like as you treat us. That's all. What you would never do for my people, I would never do for you. If we need visa to come to your country, you need visa to come to my country. Like, could you imagine? Do you know that as Africans, it is more difficult for an African to travel within Africa than for a European? What the fuck? A German can wake up today and fly to any African country, and they will have access to any African country today, compared to an African. That is nonsense. That is flawed. That should not be.
Ridiculous.
That is
I
that is
think
that
I
is
think
crazy. Go ahead. Let me break. Go ahead.
yeah. Internally, we as Africans, we have this mindset of greediness is one of the problems that is causing all this. We are greedy internally. We are selfish. We don't even like ourselves because you could see the structure of the so-called visa, the restriction of visa. Why would an African man want to leave from point A and travel down to another African country? Then they have to book a visa. Why is it like that? And these are the questions a lot of people is asking. Now, it is because the system in Africa is not working. Now, there is a system that binds the European together. Now, every other country have their own differences. Poland have their differences. They have their internal rules. Rules and regulation. Same like Spain, same like Spanish, same like Italy, Portugal, German, France, Netherlands, Denmark, Sweden, and all these different countries. But they have a constitution that is known as the European Union that binds them together. And that is one of the things we are lacking in Africa. We don't have a system that is effective and binds African together. Now, let's take it for example, okay? The leading nations in Africa, I just put them like the top dogs, can come together, like just 15 African countries, come together and enforce a system of no visa, you know, and dismantle the idea of visa application and free visa for all African countries. And put in that system, let that system be effective and others will follow. But we have a continent like Africa whereby everybody wants to be the leader. Everybody see themselves as the top dog. It doesn't work that way. Everybody feel like they want to be the leading front, and everybody can't be the leader. You must have certain people that must enforce these rules and regulation that must be effective. And that is why we must make the system that binds African work. That system is not functioning. That is why you see many of this law don't work. Look how they have done the AFTS, the free visa and African Union visa, and you don't even, I mean, African Union passport, you don't even, I mean, it's not even working. If a person like Dangote came out and say somebody like him has to start applying for visa if you want to go to Kenya or other country, you don't, yeah, I mean, it's to show you that it's not effective. But this law have been implemented, but it's not effective enough because the system is not working. So when we can fix that system that binds people together, regardless of what you believe, you might believe in whatever you believe, but that system and the constitution that binds these people together, you know, it is something that you must respect, regardless of what you believe. You must respect this system, and this is the constitution that bind people together, just like the European Union. They have different beliefs, but they have an institution that they have built that binds and bind them together. So I think that is one of the things we are lacking in Africa, the system. So let me stop there for now.
Well, thank you so much, Kelly, for that. And
What Kelly just said?
yeah, sure, Flo, go ahead, yeah.
Yes, what you said is a really great idea, but they divide us. It's like they divide us, like some of them speak English, some of them speak French, and each country in Africa is not really led by the African leaders, is led by the colonizer. So they can take that decision without asking the colonizer. So even if we come with that idea, they will not let us do it. Because Gaddafi came with the same idea that we should make a kind of like African United States, something like that. And everybody went with the idea, but when the time came to decide, then they all back off. Because France say no, because maybe England say no, because, you know, the people in the higher position, the colonizer said no. So I think the problem is deeper than that. We can have ideas, but they won't let us legally and financially come up with put those ideas to work.
That's why we have to
And
be
that's where the
independent.
problem lies.
That's the more reason why we need
Okay,
leaders, like we were talking about, like what
okay.
we
You
have
know,
in,
one of
again.
the
I don't want us to put too much pressure on Burkina Faso, but he's our only reference for now. Like not only, but even Burkina Faso is doing it, Niger is doing it, Mali is doing it, Senegal is doing it. That's why we are slowly getting. It's just that it just hurts me that Nigeria is going in the opposite direction that it should be going in. We should be going in the same direction as Burkina Faso. Nigeria right now, to your point, Fleur, we are becoming, but our current leadership is selling us out even more to the managers, to the what's it called, to the colonial people, right? It's Chad too. We should be going. This is where Nigeria should be like, you know what? Let me support Burkina Faso. Let me support Chad. Let me support Niger. Let me go. Let me. This is how you build that for me, for you know, that strength. But no, Tinubu was in France. What do you see? We probably have more than France. What can France give us? Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me, what can France give Nigeria right now? We have oil, we have land, we have other people. Why are you going to France?
France has actually no PRB. They don't have any resources, to
You
be
understand?
honest. They don't.
And they're not even
Yes.
even in power. What power can France give us? They can't give us anything. And this is like what Kelly said that makes so much sense. Everybody wants to be the top dog. You see, as Nigeria right now, you see that your neighbors, Burkina Faso, Niger, Chad, your countries that are close, share border with you, they are pulling away from France. Your brain should tell you, oh, my neighbors are not in good terms with France. I shouldn't engage with France. No, you travel to. What are you now telling your neighbors? You're telling your neighbors, I cannot trust you. I can't trust you. So any opportunity to collaborate is already thwarted because they will never trust you. Why are you dealing with my enemy? Right. I don't know what you guys think. How do you think these other African countries are looking at Nigeria right now, especially Tinubu? They're looking at you with suspicion, big time suspicion. Imagine if your neighbors are pulling away from France and you are going to France, they'll be like, okay, these guys, you want to really give them, you want to keep them afar, afar. But you're right, Fleur. It's right. Currently, we cannot move forward because we are depending a lot on our leaders. But that's changing. That will change because it has to change because it's already changing with the new leadership of Africans that are coming in. We don't have, we are starting to realize that we don't need them. They need us. But one of the reasons why the West was able to have such a grip on Africa for so long is because they were smart. The systems is they have found a way to make us dependent on them, so that we always buy loans. You know, all the institutions for quote unquote human rights is all located in the West, right? These people are telling us about human rights, yet they are always involved in war. Go figure, right? Human right, human right, human right. Yet they are bombing everybody, you know. And it's always funny to me, and that's why they like shitty leaders in Africa. They like fucked up leaders in Africa. They like tinubu, people with a record, people that cannot think for themselves. But that's why they like such people, because they are easy to hook with loan. They are easy to hook
But
with fancy stuff. That's why when they see somebody like Ibrahim Traore or the people in Niger, they call them, oh, he's an oppressor, he's a dictator. That dictator has done more. Ibrahim Traore in 2 years has done more for Burkina Faso than whoever was there for years. Am I right or am I right? I'm right. It's crazy.
but do you know that France has also the most highest gold reserve?
France, yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah,
Wait,
they
didn't
Through
they
stole.
which
get all
They
country?
that
stole.
gold from other
Yes,
African countries?
Of course.
yes. That's what they did. Like they stole most of our gold reserve, and I think that's where the problem lies, because we feel like they have money and we should be depending on them. Where African leaders can just say, okay, fuck that gold that they stole. We can just live without them.
Yeah.
Also, the other problem is that we don't have army. We don't have a good army because we cannot go to war without guns. What we are trying to do, we need to spill blood. And the third problem will be that we have to find a way to make them fight within themselves, not Africans, but Europeans.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, I think in 2012, there were a political fight between Italy and France, where when African refugees or immigrants come to France, then France tell them to go to Italy. So there were a point of time where Italy has no more money to take care of those refugees, of those immigrants. So Italy asked France now to leave African country alone.
Yeah.
And I remember, yes, and I remember there was this, I think, finance minister from Italy that took one franc CFA, like the Francophone country's money, and she just straight up in the public and saying that they should leave Africa alone. And there is this new French candidate who want to be, I think her name is Marie Le Pen.
Le Pen.
I don't know if you heard of
Yeah.
Yes, Marie Le Pen. She said that if she's president, she will leave African country alone because she's tired
they
of
will never leave
African.
Africa alone. Don't believe that shit. It's a lie. The lady, the prime minister of Italy,
Yes.
she's a right wing woman. Oh, Africa, she was insulting Africa. Man, my dear, she got into office. They told her we need Africa. She changed her word. She even hosted a business forum. Italy and Africa is a lie. They can never leave Africa alone. Whether you are right wing or left wing or middle wing, they need our blood to stay alive. Fleur Rebel. Trust me on this. I know what I'm talking about. This Le Pen, you know why she's only saying that? She's saying that so that she can appeal to her audience. She's appealing to her audience. Her audience are all racist. Hey, Africa, go back. That's why. So she needs to say that so that they will vote her in. That's the truth. They
Yeah.
will never leave us alone. That's why we must be able to fight. They need our resources. See, Fleur, this is why even Le Pen, no matter how right wing they get, even Germany, AFD, go back to your country. The German president was in Nigeria for oil and energy business. They will never leave us alone. They will never leave us alone because they need us to live. They need us to
It's
live.
so
See,
interesting.
let me tell you something. What was this? France, right? France at some point before Niger kicked them out, they were getting uranium for like 1 cent, something fucking ridiculous. At the time was like a last year or so. The market price for like a kilo of uranium was like $250 per something, whatever, like that. That was the normal market price. France was getting it for like cents on the dollar. You
Yes.
understand?
They kill a whole village.
They were
They kill a
getting
Oh,
whole
I
it.
remember
village.
that story.
You remember, right? So now when do you
Yeah,
as
it happened in Niger.
yeah, speak on it, bro.
Yeah, it was a very, very interesting thing. Niger has a very interesting history with uranium and France. When you were talking about the gold reserves, I even wanted to talk about that. But now that I said that, I have a chance to talk about it. So essentially, for a long while, France has been relying on Niger's uranium to fund their nuclear power plants for a really long time, for like 2 decades, 20 years now. Because Niger started to side away from France, the price of the uranium started to increase. There have been multiple coups and attacks just because of this uranium. The thing that gets me about all of this is that they collected so much uranium from Niger that there is even theories that they have almost depleted everything, and almost all the uranium is in their reserves in France. Can you imagine? So if Niger wants to develop as a nation now, in the future, when their people want to make fusion to help the energy consumption, instead of going like the oil route and destroying the environment, they cannot find any more uranium. And guess what has uranium? A nation that has none.
That's why how to say Macron doesn't like Putin, because at the latest news, like Niger as a how to say as a partnership with Russia, where Russia military is now in Niger to help Niger get away from France. That's what I heard. I think there is a camp, like a military base from Russia in Niger to
Oh, they
help
don't like
Niger.
that's
Yes.
one so that's one of the reasons why they don't like
Wagner Group.
no guys that's why they don't like China and Russia, because Russia and China are giving African leaders another option, because let's be honest, before we had no choice but to deal with the West. Now we don't have a choice. We don't have to do, and China and Russia, they have to come correct too. They have to be again. Listen, I'm not a fan of any country, to be very honest with you. I don't care for anyone. I'd rather have us to be 100% independent, but you cannot be 100% independent. But one of the reasons why they don't like Putin is because Putin is like, it gives another option. Before we did not have an option. We don't. So now Russia is coming in, and Burkina Faso is aligning themselves more with China and Russia, and Niger is doing the same thing. So now there's an option. You understand? And
You see what my sister said?
Russia offers more security. You understand? And so like military, like you said, Fleur Rebel, it's like military, arms, weapon deal. My only issue is like, yeah, we have to do business with people, but just make sure it's fair business. Just make sure it's fair business. That's all I'm saying. That's my only thing with like African presidents. Please
That's what
do
I say.
business,
The
but
the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
yes, and that's the truth, because the West does it all the time with us. So why don't we? And that's how we can make them fight themselves. Like align more with their enemy so that they will fight themselves. Period. That's all. There's nothing for blah blah blah.
Sorry,
But guys, I'm going to end the
sorry,
live
can I
in
say
about 10
something?
minutes. Um,
Okay, can I quickly say something
Let
quickly,
yeah,
please?
Onyechi go. I was going to call you anyway. After Onyechi, we're going to go to patience. After patience, we're going to have an open panel so that everybody can make at least 2 minutes, and then we'll close the live. Okay? Jesus, I'm
Okay,
like a radio DJ today. Holy shit, I'm talking. God damn.
okay. So, good evening, everybody. Um, the issue here is it's not about what is actually going on. It's not about the leaders are this, the leaders are that. The thing is, I'm sorry, I'm going to bring in something many of you might not like, but the Bible
Nah, nah,
has
nah, nah,
a
nah, nah, nah,
story.
nah, nah, nah. We don't want to hear Bible
No, the
talk, I beg.
Bible, the Bible, the Bible holds. No, sorry, pardon me, but I just need to bring this in. The Bible is a book. Even the Quran refers everyone to go back to the Bible.
Ah,
So the
shit.
Bible holds
Let
holds
I think she
stories.
should actually have her opinion. Let her say
Sorry,
what she wants
this
to
is
say.
this is my point. Permit me, please. I know this might be annoying, but the Bible has history and has stories of nations.
Madam, they say you come here.
No, permit me, sorry. So if the Bible have said that the true people of Israel, if you don't know the basis, if you don't know the truth, according to the Bible, there is no headsway about this. Everything happening right now in the world is already in the Bible. It's been prophesied in the Bible. Everything happening in the world today has been prophesied. The Bible said Israelites would go on slave ship, and it happened. That's why we have the African Americans. The Bible said that Israelites will go into slavery into all nations. There is no damn nation in the world today that do not have black people. The Bible also came forward to make
What's no,
clear
okay,
and
okay,
tell.
okay. Wait a minute. What does this have to do with what we're talking about?
Now, the point here is, it's already been said in the Bible that our leaders will be blind. Our people will also be blind because we'll be subjected to leaders who are blind. So the thing is, if we can go back to the Bible, if we can know who we truly are according to the Bible, not following the precepts which these people have made, because it's also written in the Bible that the world is in the hands of the wicked. Who are the people controlling the world today? We have the US, we have the UK, we have the EU. These are the people controlling the world today. And if it's if these things have been aforesaid and they've been written in the Bible, then why would you think you can use your human brain to change something that already have been prophesied in the Bible?
Onyenchi, can I say something? I already can tell you're going to allude that black people are the secret Israelites or whatever.
I never
I'm going
alluded
to,
it. It's actually the truth. We are the real Jews.
we aren't the Israelites. Our history is very complex and it's not even close to whatever random
We are
desert religion that exists in the Middle East.
no, we are the
Look,
real Jews
uh,
because Christ was a Negro. Christ,
yes, it's true. Everything you said, we have been attacked, we have been persecuted
Christ
against,
was a
and
Negro. So
one
everything happening right now, even everything you're seeing right now, it's all in the Bible.
there are multiple religions that literally that have the same thing. Also, we are
And
not the only ones who have been persecuted. We're
bro,
just the only
Everything
ones who have been persecuted
we're
and
having
last week,
survived the
guys,
longest.
wait,
just
Onyechi,
last week,
everybody wait, I beg, wait. Let me in, bro. We're having such a good time, like for 2 hours, bro. I swear to God. I swear, this one just comes in and just throws Bible in there. And were we even talking about religion? Did we even talk about religion?
that is the point. The thing is, Bible is not a
Bro,
book for everybody. It's not a religious
we
book,
were
and it doesn't belong to everybody.
wait. Listen. Everybody, we didn't even ask anybody's religion yet. I don't even know if Flair, Kelly, Let Me In Breast,
I am not a
Solomon,
Christian. I am
Last Mark.
neither a
Wait,
Christian
can I
nor a
talk
Muslim.
now?
Okay.
I don't have time to argue. I've been live for 6 hours, no, 7 hours total. I'm tired. Please, let me talk. Patience, and we didn't even talk anything about Bible prophecy. We're just looking at we're all critically thinking. We were not outsourcing our critical thinking to some book. That's why we're able to have conversations on everything. Like it's I, I don't know, man. Anybody can go. Just yeah.
Can I say last more or one thing? What she said. Actually, the new Bible, if you want to refer to the Bible that we are now reading is not, if we are supposed to read the Bible that we are now reading is not the Bible we are supposed to read. The Bible we are supposed to read is the one in Ethiopia. And if you want to talk about we have to go back to who we were, then in our language, we knew God.
They said there's something the Europeans always say. They said the most dangerous black man is the man who knows. So the Bible which you have today have lesser books. It has 66 books, but the real Bible's got
I
80.
don't care about the Bible books.
No, the thing is, they took out those books of the
I don't
Bible so you
care.
can know who you
I
truly
don't give
are.
a
And
fuck.
someone who doesn't know a history of who he is, who doesn't know his
I don't
My
give a fuck.
sister, yeah, my sister, the Bible is a mental program. It's
I don't
about
give a
political
fuck.
control.
Can you use your
It
brain and
has nothing to
fucking
do.
think for yourself? God
Yeah,
damn
the
it.
Bible. Yeah, the Bible is a book that was set to destroy our ability to be independent and create a unity-based process. It has nothing to do with reality. As a budding clinical psychologist, I would like to say this to you, my sister. No amount of changing of the color of Jesus or any character in the Bible would change anything of the Bible. If there is any supreme being or supreme structure, everything is written in our essence. No book, no God that divide the different language and give us specific language to write the book is any of any supreme nature. First thing first, the Bible has nothing to do with reality. Before, when UCBS took the book to Emperor Constantine, he said, "How can we make this book political?" Because the book was written by Abu Garimo. That's the one that went to Ethiopia, and the deity in that book was not Jesus. Jesus is only a recent name. Jesus was only the J come up in the in 1524. That's when J was added to the language. Then you have Jesus. Then it was Isis and Zeus. That was pagan god, nothing to do with reality. When they take Yahshua ben Yosef was had a mother and father. He's a part of the pantheons of God. He was the son of El. And Elohim is the pantheon of God, Yahshua. So you have to know your history, my sister. You cannot be fooled by these false narratives. The Bible has nothing to do with reality. The reason why some people are claiming that they're not Christians is because, you know, when you're trying to heal a disease in the mind, it will formulate or what you call mutate into different structure to avoid that healing. Because of the destruction, it controls the brain. So you hide Christianity, you hide all these structures because you don't want to be healed. Some people are not tolerant with these kind of these ignorance. But as a budding clinical psychologist, I have to be tolerant. So you must understand the truth. That's why we are individualistic in our approach to deal with common issues, because the Bible separates each other from each other, because we all looking to go to some heaven, to walk on streets of gold, drink milk and honey. That is for foolish people, my sister. It is time that we think. And you can only come together when you emancipate yourself from mental slavery. It's none but ourselves have to free our minds, because what you're doing here, yes, some of us want healing, but we cannot deal with reality because we are so deeply asleep. Soon as the light turn off, the sheet pull off, we get angry. But you have to listen, think. Believe is not knowledge. Believe is an illustration that you are ignorant of the fact. And the fact that you are calling yourself a believer, it means that you are exposing your ignorance to the rest of the world. We need to get into the state of knowing, so that we can teach our children knowledge. Because you are a teacher, a mother, a leader. Use your critical thinking skills. Thank you,
Thank you so much. Like critical thinking skills. Like I don't understand this the Bible, the book, the Bible, the book, the Bible. We're all talking practical solutions and critical thinking skills. We cannot just outsource things to, oh, it's written in the Bible. Like most of the things you haven't following. What are you holding on to? Like, I don't get it, man. Like, what's the point? It's written, so therefore we cannot do it, because essentially what you're telling us is because it is written, because it is written, because it is written. We just have to sit down and just cross our legs. Is that what you're telling us, Onyechi? Because it's written in the Bible, no matter what we do, we cannot change our fate.
So what do you want to do now to the
Personally,
governmental structure
Guys, wait,
of Nigeria?
guys.
What do you want to do?
personally,
Guys,
if I had my way,
she's asking me the question. Please say that
Yeah,
again.
what do you okay, right now you're trying to bring brains together, you're trying to get ideas on how to emancipate yourself if you think you can. How else? How would you
I mean,
go about
I think if you've been on this if you've been on this life since the beginning, or anytime you jumped in, you would have seen that yourself. If you watch my content, you would have seen that yourself. If you're on the live earlier,
and
you would have seen that yourself.
my point is how do you
Definitely not the
intend
Bible.
executing it? There is a failed execution of a planned coup that happened in Congo, which killed over 200 young men. So whatever brain you're trying to bring in is it's equal to rubbish. You can't fight what is already more than you.
those 200
Guys,
men
could
were
you wait?
literally American co-intel operatives.
Did you see the
Literally,
number?
the
Did you see
second
the
in
number
command
of
was a missed
coffins?
Let me
child
The number
of
let
an
of
me
coffins.
American Congolese individual.
Okay, Three
What?
American operatives.
Wait, guys, you're confusing me. You're confusing me. What is going on here? What's your question? I'm talking about Nigeria, West Africa, getting things on track. What are you even talking about? For a Bible, for somebody who loves Jesus Christ and the Bible, man, you are quite you are quite you cannot fight something that's bigger than you. Jesus, is that what Jesus wants? Whatever happened to optimism? God damn, you religious folks sometimes, eh? You guys carry Bible and you think that your shit don't stink. We're actually looking at solutions. We're trying to get things going. You're like, God damn. Like even I was talking earlier about, getting, I'm talking about how do we get Nigerians to be more politically active. And your comment to me is literally, you cannot fight what is bigger than you. So what do I do? Bend over my yash and let the person fuck me in the yash? I mean, we have somebody from
Okay.
Ivory Coast here talking about she's a software engineer and she's trying to build a social media platform for Africans. I said, okay, let's come together, do a podcast, and try to get that message out there and get things going. Like we are
Okay,
talking
sorry.
about,
Before I go,
no, please listen. You're gonna
I'm going
listen.
to leave.
No, you're gonna listen.
Okay.
You will listen. I'm talking about, what can we do from here to start making changes? Are we going to create a political party? How do we get money into Nigeria so that we can start empowering the grassroots level? Like that's what the kind of things we talk about here. Practical solutions. Like we're literally, was it Solomon or Last Mad King? Oh, sorry, I get the names mixed up. Like we're literally talking about how can we use what we have now to get money into the hands and the pockets of people.
That's a conversation I love, and I miss out on that
Guys, please
conversation.
wait. I'm speaking. So I don't get it. So what's your point and what's our solution? We literally talk about solutions here. Yes, we're all in the diaspora. It doesn't mean we cannot talk about it. It's better than nothing, don't you think? It's better than absolutely nothing. So you tell me how the Bible fits into all that.
My dear, someone sound with the way you're sounding, it's obvious that you have no
Kingsley,
regard for God.
Kingsley, you're better off getting African Americans to help you. Africans are.
Go on.
You have no regard for God. And for me, I'm not a religious person because religion was structured by the white man to
You are
free.
religious, my sister. You are
Guys,
religious. Don't hide
excuse
from
me,
it.
excuse me.
Hold on.
Without due
Sorry.
respect, bro, if you interrupt, I have to drop
Sorry.
you because I'm tired, really tired. I love your comments.
Sorry.
I want you to stay on, but please let her speak. Please. Thank you, sir.
I'm not a religious person because I'm not a Christian, but I study the Bible. And
So,
as I'm studying the Bible, I study the Bible because everything you're seeing around you, the Bible said there was sun. I look outside every morning and I see the sun, and at night I see the moon because it's also there. The Bible is the origin of everything, every fucking thing you're seeing around you.
and
The happenings, the structure of the system, the governmental policies, everything, every goddamn thing you're seeing around you, it's in the Bible. The Bible is the source. The Bible is the foundation of everything. For Christ's sake, can't you? Okay, there is nothing you will do. No brain of yours, no teeny tiny brain of yours can wrap your heads around executing a plan that would change anything with the way the system is right now if you truly, really understand what is around you. You're not the first. Gaddafi is gone. The likes of Gaddafi, he wrapped his brain, where is he today? And he's not the first. Kwame Nkrumah is gone.
but we have
They
Ibrahim.
tried, they
But we have
almost
no,
have
wait. We have Ibrahim Traore.
Ibrahim Traore, who's running for his life. They're planning to execute him, assassinate him from
He's not.
today
No,
or
no.
tomorrow. The
He's
guy,
not. No, listen. He's not running
yeah,
for his life.
he's under assassination attacks.
He's not
Except if
running
you are
for
not
his
reading
life.
the news.
He's not running for his life. He's standing
What?
firm and he's making
Are
it
you
happen.
really on the news? Are you current? Are you current? He doesn't even trust the people around him. Are you even current at all?
So
Do
for
you know what's happening there?
for
I have friends in
what
Niger and they're giving me updates and feedbacks.
Jesus Christ, is this
You guys don't even
are
understand.
you okay?
I'm okay, but the thing is, when you come and say, oh, you don't bring God into this, you don't bring religion into this, how the fuck did you come into this life?
How the heck did you see animals start coming out, or water or humans start coming out? No, they just came out from the air
No, I
because they
think
were
I
the
think
ones
I
that
think
had the power to
I
bring
think I
So what
think
do
animals
you
I,
into
propose? What
no,
is
no,
existence.
your
no, wait, wait.
idea? So
My idea is you're okay. Someone made a point here. He said something about mental emancipation, emancipating yourself from the white people, but we still have some people who are marrying to the white guys. We have some ladies who are having a white man baby in your womb, but they have no idea that even in the Bible, that's even wrong too. Even in the Bible, it's wrong. You have ladies putting on wigs, bone straight hairs, trying to make themselves look.
All right, so madam, I think you're bipolar as fuck. I'm sorry. I think you just hold on to God as. So I'm being honest. Mental health is a very important thing for the black community. Like, this is not funny. You are all over the place, madam. Please go get therapy. And this is something. And no, I'm not even trying to be funny. I didn't drop you. You dropped yourself. This is fucking scary. What the fuck? Jesus Christ. I didn't drop her. She
Can
dropped
I?
herself. Holy fuck. You are bipolar as fuck, and I'm not trying to be funny because who told you Ibrahim Traore is running for his life? Yes, he's standing up against an institution. Duh! What do you think is going to happen to him? And I saw you typing in the comment section, Lola, that he is running for his life. How dare you say such a thing about
No,
about about a man that is trying to free his
say,
people?
I didn't say he's running for his life. I said she's right in the sense that he's under attack.
Of
He's under
course, he's
attack.
under attack. Who doesn't know that, man? It's not rocket science. He's an African leader trying to free his people from the shackles of Western imperialism. Duh, you think they're just gonna sit down, cross their leg, and let him do it? No, of course he's protected. So when the moment she spoke
Even
against what
people,
Ibrahim Traore is trying to
no,
do for his people
she's
and
not
for the people of
speaking.
Africa, the moment she said that, I knew automatically she's an up.
No. She's not saying that he's running for his. Listen, everybody has okay, everyone has their own vocabulary, right? Maybe what she's saying is that he is under attack. Like, not that he's
Yeah,
running
I
out
mean,
of
we
because
know
he's
that.
got
What's
anything.
new?
Okay, yes, but his life is in danger. So she's
Yeah,
trying to
we,
show
we
you,
know. We
even when you
know.
do try to speak. Oh my God!
We
All
we
right. Let me
even
let
we
you talk.
even we even said that even people like me, if we keep talking about the Nigerian government, that mine could be also in danger. Like, we literally say we know. Guys, who does? People on the panel who doesn't know, put your hands up. Like, is this new information to you guys? Fleur, let me break. Like, you see, is this new information? I
Think
don't
she
know.
meant when she
Like,
said that? What do you think she meant when she said that? What do you think she meant? Don't read the comments. You personally, your own critical thinking, Kingsley. What do you think she meant when she
she
said
meant,
that?
from my
Don't read the
understanding of
comments.
her, she meant that, because from the angle she's coming from, she said you cannot fight something that's bigger than you. That was the statement she said, number one. So for my interpretation for what she said is, he is weak and cannot stand up to the oppression that he's fighting. That's the way I saw it, and I think that's what she meant. That he's running away from his
That's
life, in the sense that because he cannot fight, he's now running away, which he's not. He's literally making videos. He's doing his best to move his country forward. He was in Ghana, literally. Of course, he went with security. Duh, he's in Ghana, and the people were hailing him because they validate everything he sees. And she's telling me, I have friends in Niger. He's running away from his life. That is a lie. Of course, he's not.
but
Of
what
course,
I
of course, he's under threat. Duh, he's under threat.
yeah.
We know that.
I didn't mean he was running away. I just meant that he's under the what I gathered from her little speech about Ibrahim Traore is that it's hard for other African leaders, to see what Ibrahim is going to and want to fight exactly like him because of how much he's under attack. Not, I didn't gather that, oh, he's running away. He's not running away. But looking at his oppression, seeing what your own brother is going through as a leader, it makes wanting to be corrupt easier because of the amount of attack he's facing by the oppressors.
Yeah,
That is what I gathered from that.
well, that's again. That's now she's wrong. I think she needs to get herself checked, because she was making multiple points and talking about, yeah, it's written in the Bible. And for me, as soon as you start saying it is written in the Bible, I zone out because then you cannot critically think. And I tried to get her to critically think. She wasn't able to critically think. I was like, yeah, I'm talking to a zombie right now, and it's pointless. But anyway, guys, sorry to interrupt you, UC, and everybody. Anybody that wanted to make a comment, go and make a comment. Sorry, I had to clear that out.
Yeah. Um. So it's kind of like for this whole entire situation, like I just wanted to say something. Me personally, if we're to control, like let's say we controlled Nigeria and Nigeria actually properly arranges itself and develops, I personally would do two things. I know it might sound messed up, but because of Onyeichi, I realized that this is genuinely a problem. The main thing I would do, or other people would do if they came together, would be for the plan to systematically squeeze out religion from African countries. Because we cannot be living like this. This is ridiculous. We cannot be having mentally
Yep.
inadequate individuals trying to stop progress because a book said so,
Yep.
or the
That's what
Quran
she's trying to
said
do.
so,
Absolutely.
or voices in my head are telling me that I should do
She
X, Y,
said it
Z.
is written.
No.
So that means we need to just bend down and get, bro.
I think
I,
what she
I
meant
think
was that actually everything was already programmed and everything was writing in the Bible. So according to the Bible, we will be free when the time
Oh
will
God, we
come.
don't know.
But
We
we
we, we,
shouldn't
we
do
take we
anything.
take we take our destiny in our hands. So I don't have time to wait for some book to tell
I
me what
think
to
I
do.
think that's what she means. But again, if we have to go to who we are spiritually, then we have to fight our enemies.
We've been praying.
exactly,
We've
but
been
we
No,
praying
not
for a
not
very long
praying,
time.
but
Then
not
what?
praying like the Christian should, but our spiritual, our real spirituality, because
Man, listen,
spiritual
Fleur,
is
Fleur Rebel,
different from
Fleur Rebel,
religion.
Fleur, my dear, I'm gonna stop you there. Sorry, dear. Listen, man. Nobody prays or do spiritual work, Christian spiritual work like the average black African. What has that gotten us, my dear? Come on, let's be practical. Are we going to think or are we
No,
going to
no,
use? Are we
no,
going to use?
I don't mean like Christian. I don't mean Christian or Muslim. I'm talking to our real self, who we were before religion came.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean, not being a Christian or a Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
African
Because
but
traditionalism has its own
Ah,
problems.
yes,
yeah, I
that's
think
what
we
I
need to
mean because
advance a little
before
bit.
they came.
I think we need to advance a little bit more, use our critical thinking skills, and
yeah,
become solution finders.
yeah,
We ought to stop believing and holding on to things that does not resonate with reality.
yeah.
Once we start thinking for our own mindset and strategize, this is what gonna help us to move forward. For too long we have been holding on to these belief system and these traditional system. We need to evolve. It's time now we supposed to, as this new generation, come up with ideas. Let our brains work for once. Let our brains become an active part of our decision making skills because that's the only agency we have. And let us formulate that agency to work in our own interest so that it can better the outcome of our desires. Because for we are being have been holding on to this system. And you know, when you see people outburst like my sister, it's an illustration, or what I should say is the residual aspect of indoctrination. And it is very difficult for some people to overcome that. You
Yeah.
hear the heavy emotional outburst. It is because of the mental condition that does not want to relieve from that book. And it is not only her, millions of people like her.
Oh, a
So
lot,
we have an uphill,
a lot.
yes, we have an uphill battle. Nigeria, the Africa most populous nation, should have been a powerhouse, more powerful than Iran and all those other places. But because of the mental conditioning, and we are finding the problem, therefore we're looking for solution. No belief can help it. You have to get in active engagement, so that we can find the solution to which we can get a better outcome. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
How
Kingsley,
we do that?
do you
How
think
do we do that?
Nigerians are
Guys,
ready to do what the Black Americans did? Do
so
you honestly believe they're ready to do
I'm
it?
not. I'm
Are
first
they
of all.
only sitting on their ass and talking through lazy activism?
No,
Please, to be
so
honest
I
with
saw
please be honest with me.
I saw some of your comments in the comment section. Saying it's lazy activism. The Nigerians, I wouldn't compare us to African Americans, and because it's quite unique circumstances. Now, are there Nigerians that are not thinking of this? Of course not. You know why, Lola? Because they are fucking hungry.
Why are their circumstances unique? Who caused their problem? Why are
Wait,
they unique, Kingsley?
wait. The average Nigerian is hungry. And when you're hungry and your infrastructure is not up to par, you don't have time to be thinking of activism.
Okay,
You're
I like
hungry.
that you said that.
Yeah,
The average
yeah.
Nigerian is hungry.
Yes,
Okay,
and
when
it's a
they
fact.
started the slave
Let me
trade,
learn. Let me learn, Lola. Let me learn.
were they not hungry from the slave trade? Okay, all right, continue.
Let me learn. Now, in addition to that, a lot of because of the hunger and the systemic injustices that the average Nigerian faces, the lack of accountability from leadership, the lack of infrastructure being created, this thing amounts to just gaps everywhere. Now, because of that, the average Nigerian needs hope, which you typically find in Christianity or Islam, okay, or it could be African religion, whatever. Now, if I'm asking you, Lola, if I ask, and also in addition to that, the uniqueness of Nigeria, Lola, has not been actualized, has not been recognized, which is why I put here. What does it say here? Nigeria is what? Is too structurally flawed. The average Nigerian, when we say Nigeria, people forget that Nigeria is not a monolith. That's something people just forget. Oh, Nigerians. No, there is no Nigerians. Because Nigeria, the 60-year-old experiment has failed. You know why it has failed? It's because we are being forced together to work together, regardless of the fact that the north of Nigeria and the south of Nigeria are ideologically different. The core north of Nigeria are thinking in this direction. The southerners are thinking in this direction. So when you want to force everybody in together and say, let's go as Nigeria, which Nigeria are you talking about? People forget that Nigeria is like 3-4 countries at once. The north of Nigeria is as big as Niger, if not even bigger. You understand? The south of Nigeria is a smaller section, but more progressive. Who controls the military of Nigeria? The North. Who controls the government of Nigeria? The North. Who controls the key offices in Nigeria? The North. But then you look at the North and then you say, oh, you are the poorest state in Nigeria. You are the least productive state in Nigeria. You are the most uneducated in Nigeria. So why should you then dictate the country? But what does the politics system of Nigeria favor? Religion and numbers, which the North has. So structurally, we are incredibly flawed. Now, what is the solution? The solution that we are proposing is, okay, do we create a political party? Do we create lobby groups? What can we do as Nigerians in the diaspora to start having conversations to acknowledge the flawedness of Nigeria as a country? Because Nigeria is not a monolith. It's not a monolith. People forget that. And that's why I'm a big fan of regionalization in Nigeria. Nigeria can stay together as a country. However, when it comes to the day-to-day operations of Nigeria, it has to be outsourced to each and every zones of that country so that you can be closer to the people. Right now, everything flows from Abuja. It doesn't work. So that's the case of Nigeria. So when you say, oh, African Americans and Nigeria, it's a different thing. A lot of African Americans, they have the similarities together. Nigerians are different.
The same Nigerians you're talking about are the same Nigerians when I was in the group. They jumped on me because I asked them to explain why they want Trump to win.
Oh, ignore them, please.
And all they could bring up was the Bible. No. You're talking about Nigerians, Abi. I want to talk about Nigerians.
Yeah, but why are you looking at Nigeria?
I want to show you the mind and hearts of the
focus on
people
the
that you're
uniqueness of
talking
Nigeria.
about.
Focus on the uniqueness of Nigeria, not Nigeria and Trump. Like, let's be honest here, man. Please.
No, I'm not focusing on Trump. You're missing the point. The point keeps flying over your head, Kingsley. The point is you need to focus on the heart and the heart and the minds of the people you're trying to get to stand up and create this political party. Without understanding the mind and the heart of these people, and you're saying, what is it got to do with African American? That means you don't understand your own people. You keep saying the North. Is it only the North and Abuja and the military that is Nigeria's whole problem? We
people also have a problem. I agree with you there. We have a deep problem. I agree, Alola. We agree on that. We have a problem. We have a mentality problem. I'm not saying you're wrong. I agree. I've made a video on that. I've literally said that the average Nigerian wants everything for free without paying the price. I've said that.
Yes, a huge problem.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean by the lazy activism. We want to sit down, and when they sit down, that's when they want to open their Bibles and bring their Bibles into it. That is what I mean by lazy activism.
Okay.
They don't know what it takes to actually stand up. Look at what it took for them to even stand up for NSARS. Nigerians have meant to have been standing up since. The reason why I brought Black Americans into it, because you speak of this hunger. Is it the same hunger that Black Americans didn't know of? We created them. We created Black
We
Americans
did.
through greed.
We
Yes,
did.
we did. Through greed. Okay? And so our problem, especially in Africa, forget poverty. It is greed. Yes, poverty is our problem, but education system is our problem. But the education system is also failing Black Americans as well, and a lot of them are in poverty. So a lot of problems, it's greed from Africa. Ibrahim has followed a structure because why? Was it the first Thomas? Is it who is it? Thomas Sankara? What
Sankara.
country?
Burkina Faso.
Sankara. What president? Okay, he has seen. There's already been someone that stood for liberation. He's trying to follow that playlist. Do you understand? He's trying to follow that copy. We don't have that in Nigeria. By the time you have one person that stands up like that, let me tell you the people that will kill him, your own Nigerians. What is the leader? I can bring up all the people that try to stand up. Doria Kunyili, when she tried to fix the drug problem of fake drugs, they will kill. Even after they killed her, they still went to go and kill her husband. So these Nigerians you talk about, I want you, because you're the one that's educated, I want you to tell me about these so-called Nigerians that you speak of, that you want to create political parties. I'm not here talking about Trump and church. That's not what the hell I'm talking about. I know what I'm trying to talk about, but you guys were getting heated. I'm trying to tell me about the Nigerians you speak of that you want to rise up.
Sure.
Even
Absolutely.
Congo does better than us.
Okay, let me clarify that. So, first off, we cannot grow, we cannot build something without having optimism. That's step number one. Okay, so that's the difference. I hear where you're coming from, but the truth of the matter, Lola, is this: every single positive movement we have today had to start somewhere. Somebody had to somebody had to make that move. And if everybody had a defeatist, cynical perspective, there will be no change in this world. That's a fact. No. I let you speak. I let you speak.
Burkina Faso are not assassinating Ibrahim.
Lola, you're gonna let me speak though. Can I speak without getting interrupted? I got to answer your question. Okay. Now, that's the overarching frame. We cannot build if we don't have optimism. Everybody on this panel knows the issues of Nigeria. Everybody on this panel knows. There's nothing new I'm going to tell Fleur or Kelly or you yourself, Lola, or Last Mad King or Patience. We all know, or you see, we all know, or we know. But we have to look forward. We have to say, yes, this is the chaos that we are dealing with as Nigerians. We know there's a lot of greedy, selfish people around us. Yes, but guess what? There are other people that are not like that. We can find them. There's a lot of us out there. We can find them. That's it. And that's what gives me hope, because I've seen them. I know we're out there. You understand what I mean? And once that is put together, we will make it happen. Every single thing started with a thought. When you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna fail. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna meet people that fuck you up. You're gonna meet people that betray you. That's life. That is how life goes. But as long as you keep the vision and you're optimistic and you keep changing things as you go, you will make it happen. That is my faith. Do I think Nigeria as it is can work? I don't think so, because I think Nigeria is forcing people together that have ideological differences. That's number one. However, maybe when we have people in the diaspora, one or two people, maybe 20 even, that can come together and say, hey, listen, we live abroad, we've traveled, we've seen foreign currency, nothing freaks us out. How can we now use this to collaborate with some people in Nigeria to, I don't know, put a political party together? Do something. Something. That's the way I look at it. And I think every great movement, everything good starts with this kind of perspective. Don't you think so? I mean, if everybody's thinking like you're thinking, my dear, nothing is going to change.
Extreme here. I'm going to get a bit extreme here.
Sure.
I'm going to play with you a little bit. Right?
No. But just by the way, Lola always troubles me, guys. I know her.
Okay. So what
But
what
you got
country
to
was
keep
it
in mind
that
there are
put
other people
all?
that want to speak too. So make it quick there. Okay.
No worries, I'm gonna leave.
All right.
But thank you for even hosting this
No,
space.
no, no, no pleasure,
What
man. No
country
pleasure.
was it that put? What country was it that put all their leaders on a plane and killed all of them? And that and unalived all of them? Was it the KB? Was it Russia that they put all their corrupt leaders on a plane and they bombed that plane?
Was it Ghana? No,
You
wasn't
see,
Ghana? Wasn't Ghana like a
no,
parliament, if I'm not
they were,
mistaken?
they were white. They were Caucasian.
Oh, really?
I think it was yeah, I think it was Russia or something. Ukraine. I need to go read and get it right. It's the
Oh
KB, the
shit.
KGB or whatever. That's what y'all need to do to your disgusting ass leaders.
Honestly,
Let
I
me tell you
agree.
who's gonna save you. Let me tell you who's gonna save y'all. The youths. All this movement you want with these old niggas, these old money niggas, these dusty ass niggas.
No, we're
You
not
need
talking
to get
about
them on
them.
a plane.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, well, the youth are
yeah.
going to, because all these older people, the 40 plus generation, the 45, 50, they're done.
True.
They held Nigeria back so much, they are done. And you don't owe them nothing. The youths are what is going to help. Because all this thinking about Bible, the youth is not even, the Bible wouldn't even come up. It's the youth that did that answers. All you old people sit on your ass. All of them, they will sell their own children for a sack of rice.
True.
They will drop their activism for a sack of rice. Those are the people you want to help.
45 is even
So
young,
those,
though, Lola. The average Nigerian politician is like 70 something, by the way, just so you know, huh? It's not even
that's what I
40.
mean. From 50 and above, you get rid of all of them.
Yeah.
I said not just the lead, you get rid of all of them. Look at what Dora Kingini tried to do. They will assassinate. Who is it that they assassinated him through his food? It wasn't Abacha. Who was it? They will get, if you try, the minute they're all informants and they all help the CIA and all of these people. I don't want to say too much. The minute you want to talk about progress, the minute you even try and push progress in Nigeria, your own people are what is going to kill you. Ibrahim Traore, it is not his own people that are trying to assassinate him. It is the oppressors. They have one accord, one band, one sound in Burkina Faso. They understand the move. At least 85% of them do. The rest obviously is for greed. Nigerians, 85% of them don't understand what Ibrahim Traore is doing. They would be the ones to help get rid of him. Why? Money and greed. You need to
Agreed.
understand your own people, how they function.
Okay, fantastic. Lola, thank you so much. Let's give other people a chance to speak. There are 4 people waiting to join as well. So guys, if you've spoken and you're happy with what you say, you can drop. But let's give Patience hasn't spoken, T hasn't spoken, and then we can have an open panel so that everybody else can speak. Patience, are you there?
Okay, I can drop. I did explain what said what I had to say.
Yeah.
And thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure being on your platform. I'm following you now because
Thank you.
somebody shared your life to me, and I just came
Oh,
up
really?
as I got it.
You see, I love your comments, brother. Thank you so much for joining. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. Yeah.
My brother, take care of yourself. Patience, go ahead. Yeah. After Patience, we'll go to T, and then last man, and then we can have an open panel. I'll bring somebody up. I have one space. Patience, are you there? I think she was sleeping or something. I heard some snoring when I brought her. But anyway, T, if you're there, you can go. I think Patience is not available. Mr. T.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go on.
Yeah, it's wonderful to be here today. I think I kind of joined when the lady that was on about religion was talking, and I couldn't help but laugh. The topic for today is actually Nigeria's too structurally flawed, right? And
Yeah,
what
that
can be
was the
done, I
initial.
guess.
Yeah, that was the initial topic. But you know how these things go, man. It takes a life of its own.
Yeah. I understand. I mean, when I heard the lady talking, that was what actually motivated me to come on because, damn, she was far gone. Like, it's like someone outsourcing common sense to the Bible. And I'm a Christian, but there's some things you don't just outsource. Like, come on, it was just too far gone, and she, at some point, she became temperamental about it, and of course, you could tell she wasn't speaking with critical thinking and all those things. But yeah, that's the point or that's the extent rather to which this whole thing called religion can impact upon some people's common sense. I mean, I do believe, regardless, it has done far more worse to us as a country and as a continent, actually. Now, speaking about Nigeria, my very good country, um, I do agree with you when you said ideologically wise, the North and the South are far, far apart, and Nigeria is really, really structurally flawed. As for solution, the political party thing you mentioned, I don't know how that's going to work, Kingsley, because I still think that I don't think democracy is for Nigeria. Something in me just tells me because where you have a lot of poor people who make decisions to vote, they will always vote with their stomachs. And regardless of how you birth a new political party with ideologies, if these old guys are still there and behaving the way they behave, trust me, all the poor people will still collect money and do what they want to do. So it's a high, it's very it's a tough task, I must say. But yeah, it's a good point to start with. I just think the solution for Nigeria, personally to me, and I've thought it different times, we go regional to start with, and if that is not working, perhaps we go our separate ways. Regional in the sense that okay, partly because it has worked in the past. So it's something we can experiment upon again. And with our current realities, of course, this whole centralized thing ain't helping anybody. It's not working. So each region manager resource and all of that. So we see if that can actually help a little bit. Then if it doesn't, my brother, I'm all up for everybody go their own separate ways. Because one thing I know for sure, and if you study, if you check out countries that have actually worked, there is something that is common. And this whole ideology thing you talked about, there's a sense of, or there's a kind of homogeneity you see in a society that makes it work. And countries that have worked or are that are working today, if you check them out, there is this homogeneity, be it in form of cultural, in form of their way of life, or in form of their religion or whatever. But Nigeria is just so you can't even explain the country to somebody because it's flawed and the foundation is not even there again. So I just think that except we attain that stage or that state ultimately of actually having this form of homogeneity, either the North, they are homogeneous with their religion and whatever and pack up and do their own thing, the South with their ideologies and all, that is only where you can actually have a sane country. Because going like this, in the next 100 years, my brother will see the shout up NEPA. As funny as it sounds, yeah, but that is true. That is really true, man. I mean, ever since I was born up until now, people are still shouting up NEPA. My kids, they're going to shout up NEPA. So, and of course, this is like an 18th century problem, right? That was solved 18th century. Imagine we are here now, and so that now tells you we are not even playing catch-ups. So all the current technology in the world, the likes of chip manufacturing, and where are we going to get to that stage? When? And it's so fantastic that with the technology and everything at our beck and call these days, this is the perfect time for any country that is really serious to close in on any gaps you want to, because the tools are basically there. But look at what we are doing. I mean, look at what T-Pain is doing. So we aren't playing catch-ups to even 18th century problems. When are we going to play catch-ups to 21st century problems? Because mind you, the West, they're not sitting, they're moving on. So except we get to that point where we have to, like, I don't know, when these things become really serious, when we become serious about these things and we really want to really get better and see how to come together and build things, either by creating homogeneous states or whatever. I'm sorry, I don't see this union working at all. It is not working. It is never going to work. There is no God that will come and make it work. If we like, we pray from now till 100 years, nothing is going to work.
True, true. Okay, brother. Thank you so much for that. True, I agree. The ideology is different. So M1, brother, go ahead. Oh wait, before we go
Yeah,
to
why you telling me,
M1,
Quincy?
sorry, bro.
Yeah. Oh, am I supposed to speak now?
Just wait a minute, M1, brother.
Okay,
Let's
no
give
problem.
Kelly, Fleur, Let Me In, Bre, Last Man, because they've been on for a long time. So if you guys have something to pitch in, please, so that we can go to M1, then we go to Lady K, and then we take it from there. Last Man, Kelly, Fleur, Rebel, Let Me In, Bre. Any thoughts?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You see, I like to double down a bit on what Lola was saying. Yeah, about if somebody like Ibrahim Traore comes up in Nigeria, that his own people will betray him. That actually is true. It is true. Nigeria is there's a different kind of mindset in Nigeria compared to the kind of mindset that Cote d'Ivoire's, not Cote d'Ivoire, what it was the Burkina Faso's have. Sorry. Nigeria, our corruption is deep rooted, and even that their Burkina Faso during the time of Sankara, it was his own friend that betrayed him. So it's a very dicey thing for an African man to try to fight for liberation. I say Ibrahim Traore, the type of security measures he has is way tight to be able to keep him alive for this long. Is it 18 times now they've tried to kill him? I commend them for that. And then when it comes to our own Nigerian problem, Gongo, we are our problems. I try writing that sometimes, but TikTok always removes it from the comments. We are our biggest problem. The Nigerian mentality, that ideology inside our head, and it has been rooted into us, conditioned by religion. You see, I know people will get upset when that is said, but it's the simple truth. Religion, the whole Islamic, Christianity, all evangelical, all they are the biggest part of that problem, because when you're talking to people abroad here, nobody talks about heaven. When you hear a white man making plans, they don't tell you about heaven. They don't talk about heaven. They make their plans for earth here, for right now. But when you're talking to people back home, everybody's talking about heaven. They feel like what they are in now is a temporary phase. Yeah, we'll go through and go to there is a better place. They need to understand that there is no better place. You are living it right now. That's what your heaven is. That is what you make of it. That's the thing. We in diaspora here, we can play a very big role in helping them. And how I believe we can do that is if we get organized. We need to get organized. There are people in Nigeria that are willing to fight this fight. We in the diaspora just have to identify the right kind of person to support. Not anybody, like I've heard P2B being mentioned tonight, and I've made that clear. He is not a good opposition leader and not a savior that anybody should hope on. He is part of the system, and all he will do is tone down the whatever protest or fire you have to fight. He will come and tone it down, and at the end of the day, everything will keep happening. What we need is band up together, organize, support someone like Dele Falarotimi, somebody who is a radical. And when I say support, I mean by get organized, form an organization whereby we can contact him and get him and say, here, Oga, we want you to be calling out this government. Start calling out this government. If they arrest you, lawyers will be there. We fund the lawyers.
Right. Okay.
Money for the lawyers will come from here. We have so many barristers here in diaspora defending the white man, helping the white man win their cases. If those people can come out and do a pro bono, You don't have to travel back. You can do court by Skype.
Yeah.
Dedicate your time. Put that pressure. A lot of us here have been so integrated into the West that we actually individually know people and have
Yeah.
political connections.
Yeah.
People that we know. Then
Okay, bro.
in
Just
part of that
land the
organization
plane,
as
brother, so
well.
that we can give other people a chance. Okay.
Yeah. And in part of that organization as well, start opposing these people when they travel.
Yeah.
Make them uncomfortable abroad and get our man down there to be the voice, the person calling out. He has to go scorch earth on everything. No fear. That's the only way we can be able to make a change that will get people to fight. Because that's the only way it can happen. Thank you very much, my brother. I'll be going down as well. You can use
Okay.
my
Okay.
box.
Last month,
Bye
pleasure,
much.
man. All
Thank
right.
you.
Enjoy yourself.
I want to
Thank
say,
you.
sorry,
Yeah,
goodbye.
go on.
I want to say one thing before I also go. So Lola, Last Man's Tea, and other people's talks about the problem of Nigeria has made me feel like sharing something, a little something. It's not really a real movement yet. It's actually something I discovered, like, no joke, in like the most deepest internet forums online. And this is an actual Nigerian political party that doesn't exist yet. In fact, I don't even think it's a concept that exists yet in the world. And I stumbled upon them. Although they didn't tell me I shouldn't say much about them, but I feel I should share something to just glimmer a sense of hope. One day, people might see them and maybe you guys would know about them and be, oh yeah, those guys. So there is this movement which they are called the Logicists Party, and all of the problems most people have been saying here, they have planned out everything. I don't really want to go deep into it, but essentially their ideals are very complex and they have this system where they figured out how to control people, when specifically the Nigerian people, and they've already figured it out. As Laura was saying, how do we get the youth to mobilize? That's the thing. Realistically speaking, you don't need to get the youths to mobilize because the youths are already mobilizing. All you just need to do is to fan the flames. They are essentially like hay, grass, dry grass. All you just need to do is to create the spark of revolution, and the revolution will happen. EndSARS was an example of it. Of course, it didn't go well, but it showed that there was a potential. Now, for Nigerians being corrupt, personally, I'd say it's a very easy thing to solve, because with corruption comes greed. With greed comes short-term wants. With short-term wants, somebody does stupid things. An example of this would be, let's say you wanted to mobilize all the corrupt politicians, make a small group of people, and this is actually one of the plans from that organization I was talking about earlier, and make a small group of people who are tallying and keeping records of every single corrupt individual in the country and keep those tallies in check. After that, create propaganda about them by showing their crimes online and physically, and not just to city centers or places with a condensed group of people. Go into the thickest forest, the most random places, a place with a village of a population of 5 in like the middle of nowhere, in like, I don't know, Ondo State or whatever, something like that, and tell them about these crimes to get people to go, wow, these guys are really bad, XYZ, XYZ. To them, they don't care. But when you start helping them, giving them wealth, giving them some kind of security, like food or water that the government isn't giving to them, they would see loyalty in you more than the government. Then after that, the way Nigeria is structured, yes, this is also another plan from this group, but I don't want to say anything about them. The way Nigeria is structured, they also had a plan about it. Essentially, the plan was to use the tribalism of Nigerians to their advantage, in the sense that they would select a group of people. I'm going to use the Yoruba ethnic group as an example now. Please, Yoruba people, don't be offended. It's just an example. So they will collect the Yoruba people, create a face for a Yoruba leader, come and secede from Nigeria. They then secede, but as they're seceding, it will result in a civil war. During that civil war, they will create a blockade around important economic places, around the place with majority Yoruba ethnic groups. And because the person that is doing all of this stuff, the face of it is a Yoruba person, most Yoruba people will have some kind of material sympathy for it. And because we have already controlled the youths with the spark of revolution, they would follow you blindly. And by doing this, you create an embargo. A good example is that the thing about our corrupt leaders, and this is something one of them told me, they said that the thing about our corrupt leaders is that because of their corruption, they have created incompetent actual infrastructure. The only properly functioning port in the whole of Nigeria is in Lagos. If you were to make a blockade around Lagos, no resources could be able to go properly into the other states outside of Lagos. Nobody wants that. No government wants that. The only way that government could have any proper way to stop such people from making that blockade is to plead to their demands, or they give up and get allies. When they get allies, it starts to get escalate. But the issue is nobody wants to die, and nobody wants to go on a full-scale war attack at that point. So they have to give in and judiciously secede. Then after that, this will create problems. But the plan essentially would be, after that ethnic group secedes, that ethnic group that secedes begins to appeal to the other ethnic group.
Okay, but you gotta land your plane, man. Okay.
They appeal to the other ethnic group, and that other ethnic group, seeing the betterment of the former ethnic group that seceded, will join the new ethnic group. Then they take the rest of the country. So the country didn't disband and become nothing. It simply regrouped, like mobilized, and developed itself, then took back the rest of the country. So Nigeria will not be lost. It just results in war and a lot of people dying. The thing about Africans is that we have to
bro,
accept
you gotta
that
land your plane,
if
man.
we want to
just land. You gotta land because others gotta speak.
Yeah. Sorry.
Thank you.
So the point I'm trying to make is that for the restructuring of the country, you unfortunately have to secede. But secession should not be the only thing, because we're not only focusing on Nigeria per se, we're focusing on other African countries also. That's literally all I'm trying to say.
Thank you so much, man.
Okay.
Kelly, Fleur, Rebel, and then we go to
Yes,
M. Just keep it quick,
yes.
please. Please, let's not get long-winded. Keep it quick so that we can go to others, okay?
Okay. What I wanted to say is, like, after what he just said, I feel like the best way to save Africa in a whole would be to expose them. And by exposing them, I'm talking about cyber attack. And that will be that a way to infiltrate the government to bring all the dots.
No. Let's don't say that publicly, please. That could go
Okay.
wrong for me at least.
That was all then. Yes. Okay.
Say something else.
Actually, that was the idea that I came up with.
Okay,
like,
maybe you
because we have to do
message me directly then in that
radical.
case.
Okay.
Maybe directly
Okay.
message me, okay?
Okay.
But you message me anyway, please, because we need to plan that soft social media app discussion, okay?
Okay. No problem.
Kelly, are you there?
Then now we go down.
Oh, okay, Fleur. Thank you so much, Fleur. Nice having you. Thank you
You're
so much.
welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Kelly Tutu, are you there? We go directly to M1. I'll count to 5. So 1, Kelly. 2, Kelly. 3, Kelly. 4, Kelly, and 5, Kelly. Well, M1, the floor is yours, bro. Welcome.
What you telling me, Kingsley?
Oh, good, brother. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. Bro, I'm just gonna say this here. One of the biggest problems with Nigeria is that we have no national identity. And for countries to have a national identity, it means that the vast majority of people have to share the same beliefs. And that's not the case for Nigeria, unfortunately. So I don't believe in regionalism. I believe in total separation. It's because even during regionalism, the Igbo people were still cheated out of all their resources, and the Niger Delta people. That literally happened during regionalism. So we have no national identity together as a country. Why are we still together? We have to go our separate ways. This current concept of Nigeria cannot work and will never work. Even regionalism itself too would not work. We have seen this happen numerous times. Someone from the south has a good idea, but they won't be able to put it into practice because of the north. Look at Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, for instance. He got kicked out of office because he was from Niger Delta. We have to have our own countries. We have to go our separate ways in the long term. This current concept of Nigeria can't work, and no politician is going to save us, except we younger people decide to get more involved in the politics, and we literally have something called lobbyists, who are people that are going to go to Abuja to literally advocate for policies that are going to impact us. We don't have any of that. I'm just gonna land my point there. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, M1. Perlita, Lady K, Yoruba guys. After, as you can see, my eyes red as fuck, man. I'm tired. Everybody has 1 more minute, then I gotta go, man. I'm tired.
I only just have a few things to say.
Okay, let's go. Go on.
So here's what I'm going to say. Yeah, when it comes to Nigeria's situation, yes, the government is part of it, but the biggest problem is our older generation parents.
Yeah.
This last election, they were asking people, why are you voting for this particular person? And it sounded like a lot of the younger generation, even the Gen Z, don't have a mind of their own. It's either, oh, my parents told me to vote for this person, or this person is from my tribe. That is the reason why we're having issues in Nigeria today, right? And the only way Nigeria will get better if our parents are willing to come together to fix that country.
Our parents are a lost cause, my dear.
That's what I'm saying. They're the reason why we're all in this situation now. Having the whole, I don't want my child to marry from this tribe. Oh, you're not gonna marry from that tribe. That has to stop. If not, we're not gonna move forward. And if we're not going to do that, then let's have regional government. Regional government will be better for everybody, because then everyone would then vote for their own people that will help each region reach its full potential. That's just about it. Because at the end of the day, we keep saying let's go our separate ways. Our land is landlocked as Nigeria. So how are you going to break Nigeria apart?
Not in the south,
or
though.
Separate? Actually, it is in the south. Even the south is landlocked, because technically,
actually, yeah,
if
true. Yeah,
our land as Nigeria itself is landlocked. So if we go our separate ways, everybody would just have to go back to their land and where they came from, plain and simple. So people who are coming from the south and the southeast will stay in south and southeast, and people in southwest will stay in southwest, and the people in the north will stay in the north. And you cannot cross the border, plain and simple.
I mean, you can't cross
If we
you can't
want to
cross the
separate.
border. You just have to. I mean, it doesn't mean we are stuck in our location. We can cross the border. It just means you might need, I don't know, visa or whatever else. You might. I think.
Exactly. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. But you would need some kind of visa to cross the
Oh
border. You
yes,
can't just
yes,
cross it then. That's what I'm
yes.
saying is that if we're going to, because I keep hearing, oh, let's separate. How are you going to separate? Are you going to cut the land in half? No. Our land together is landlocked. So at the end of the day, we would just create borders for everybody. That's it.
Yep.
And if
Absolutely.
we're going to do that, then let's come together and fix the land.
Yeah.
That's what I have to say.
I got you, Yoruba. I hear you. I hear you. Thank you so much, dear. Perlita, after Perlita, we're going to go to Kay and then we're going to end the live, man. Because as you can tell,
Yeah,
Kingsley's tired. Horse, can I ask you?
I
You
just
want to
have
ask me
one
what?
thing to say.
What? Perlita?
I just have one thing to say.
Yeah, go on, yeah, go
I
on.
think Nigeria was too early to, they were too early for independence. My mom is much older, and she, luckily for her, she was able to leave Nigeria like really early. So thankfully, I didn't get to grow up there. But she always tells me that Nigeria was too early for independence. I think that maybe not necessarily white people, but like I think other people need to like come back to Nigeria and like rule while we figure out like what we're gonna do. I don't think that we're capable of like ruling ourselves. I don't think so. Because if you see the other colonies, like, you know, Barbados or these other places where there's a lot of black people, but like there's
Perlita, I can hear you.
like they have access to education, right, and all that. They have clean streets, they have clean water, like their
Oh, we
quality
have
of
that
life
in
is
we have
much
that in
better.
Nigeria though.
Not the majority, not the majority. Not like we can't even profit off of tourism. Like we're not even able to tap into tourism because we've destroyed the place. Like it's dirty. So and like
Yo.
I don't think that I don't think we're capable of ruling out. That's what I think. My mom says this all the time. She says Nigeria was so good. She had great education. Her dad also, you know, had great education. She's very educated. And she always says that there's no solving this issue like by ourselves. I think obviously people can collaborate, like the people from diaspora who have access to like more resources and all that, like people like us, right? But
Yeah.
I don't think we can solve the issues by ourselves. I think that they need to come back and collaborate, not like rule over us, but like collaborate with us. That's what I think.
Yeah. I
Because look
think
at South Africa, like, you know, shit is not great there either, but they have access to education. They're
I
able to eat.
wouldn't
They
I
have
wouldn't
power.
want to I wouldn't
When there's no
Perlita.
power, they like protest. Like if they don't have power for a day, they start protests. Like you see how like they're big on like their rights and all that. I'm not saying I never said it's like perfect in South. I never said that. I know shit is crazy there too as well, but their quality of life is much better still compared to Nigeria. So yeah, I think I think the colonizers should come back. We left way too like
What
1960. Like
you think what to
they
come
should
back?
come back.
You said what?
They should come back to Nigeria and collaborate with us.
Who should
That's what
come
I
back?
think. I think the British should come back. I think
Later,
that's like the best like
later. One thing you need
What
to
about
realize
this?
idea.
about the European
Like
people
we got
is
independence so early and we
What
were
the
not ready
fuck did
for
I just
anything.
hear?
Like we're so divided.
per little. You're like, and let me
No
say
no
this
wait.
here.
You literally
One
just
thing,
woke me up from my
That is
sleep.
like if we're being realistic, that's the best case scenario for us to have a
What?
way
per
forward.
little.
We're not
Oh,
capable, like we Africa, like not just Nigeria, we're not capable of ruling ourselves. That's the honest
Perlita,
truth. We're
let
not
me
capable.
say
We've
this
proven like
real
decades
girl,
and
quick.
decades over
I'm
that we're not
sorry.
capable of doing
I
that.
don't
Like
have time for
No,
that
we need
shit,
collab.
man.
Can I
I
say
mean,
something?
yo, she just said the
Kingsley,
colonizer should
can I
come.
say this?
The M1. Wait, I get it. I get it.
Sorry.
I know, bro. I feel the way you feel too. Trust me. I feel how you feel. Dude, I was literally slipping off. As soon as I heard what she said, I was like, what did you just say? I, I perked up. You literally said the colonizer should come back to Nigeria. And who told you Nigeria is miserable? Look, listen, we just have a structural problem. Man, this girl, man. M1, go on, bro. Maybe your thoughts are more structured than mine, bro. I'm fucking
Yeah, I'm
shocked.
just going to say this here. That this is one thing that per little doesn't realize is that whenever the European man comes to Africa is they aren't looking to collaborate at all. They are looking to show that we are superior to you and won't take over everything. So the fact that she'll say that, oh, we have to maybe have some collaboration. I was like, that makes like
I'm
zero
not saying
sense.
this to be derogatory to
Look at
Africans. I
South
think you guys
Africa.
haven't seen my
Yes,
point.
per
I'm
little.
saying we
I
should
do agree.
only
Wait,
invite them back as collaborators, not to
Per
rule
little.
over.
Wait, we're having a
I'm not saying.
conversation.
Oh man.
Perlita, listen, he's
Yes.
speaking. Let him speak. After that, you will
Per
speak.
little. I would even say that you are literally lying. Is because I was still having this conversation with my friend at all. Like, this is some harsh truth. And Kingsley, as I've said them in the past, tough discussions need to be had. It has been proven that all the British, like when the British left a lot of these African countries, all these countries went to complete trash. Nigeria hasn't built a refinery since the one that the British people literally built. It sounds crazy to literally say, but anytime the Europeans come over to these black countries and they leave a bit of civilization, when they leave, we are literally left to like maintain this stuff, it disappears. It's almost like those civilizations, they all disappear. Yes, per liter is kind of right, but the fact that I said that we should collaborate with these people are not looking for a collaboration, they are looking for total dominance. Namibia and South Africa are a perfect example. They literally exist in these countries, but they control all the wealth. There are huge wealth inequalities in Namibia and South Africa. I do believe that, yes, you did
More
have
than
him
in
a
Nigeria,
point.
by the way.
Pardon?
South Africa, just so you know, South Africa is the most unequal country in Africa, or it's one of the most unequal
It
countries in
is
the world. Just so you know.
in in the world, and the white people there are so privileged as well. So I must have been on Twitter this morning, and there is this white South African guy. He's always complaining, saying that saying that there are numerous like discriminatory laws in South Africa. Just for someone said that only 1% of whites in South Africa live in poverty in the country. So what discrimination are you going through in the country? I do agree with Perlita in the stance that when the Europeans left us to our own device with the civilizations that they kind of gave to us, it disappeared. But the fact that you think that these people are willing to collaborate with us, it just doesn't make any sense. These people want total dominance and control.
I need to clarify something as well. They don't leave you. They never left.
Can I add something, please, so
No,
that I
no.
can go to bed?
Okay, go ahead, lady.
Hi, everybody. My name is Casey. I came across your page, Kingsley. I've always been around and listening to your discussion, but today I just really want to add one or two things. What you're discussing is really very good, and I believe that every Nigerian living outside Nigeria has this zeal, this desire for Nigeria to be better. Believe me, if Nigeria turns to be like Europe, 80% of people will go back. But what's happening is that there's a lot of things in place, and there are a lot of things happening underground that we can't see physically. But when you look around and pay attention, just pay very close attention, you will know that things are happening behind closed door, behind the curtains that we don't see. We talk about corruption. Corruption is an English word and is everywhere. And there's no country in this world that is not corrupt. But when you're corrupt to the extent where you even punish your people, you don't think about your people, no sense of patriotism at all. You don't even see your own as anybody, and that starts from the top. That's when things get so bad. It gets so bad. And it starts from the top. So if you're a leader and you're doing something wrong, how are you going to tell your cleaner or your subordinates that this is the best way to do it when they've all watched you and see how you've been managing the company and the things I've been doing, behind the curtain? The second thing I really want to point out, yes, a lot of African countries, including Nigeria, have been given independence. But are we free? Are we really free? Nigeria is a country that is so knowledgeable, got educated people. We are so talented. We are so hardworking. We are so resourceful. In short, Nigeria is the key of the whole world. And if you make Nigeria better by starting to eliminate hunger, by making Nigeria to be up to date with 21st century infrastructures and technology, who do you think is going to be able to come to the Europe and do all the jobs that Nigerians are doing? Who is going to be doing everything? So let's look at it from that angle, that there is somebody that doesn't want that country to be better. I want to talk about regional development. It's a good thing, but will they allow it to happen? With somebody sitting somewhere and who is benefiting from everything and controlling everything and telling the leaders how they should treat their people, will they really allow Nigeria to be developed with everything that everybody is suggesting and trying to put it on the table? With somebody who is benefiting from what you have and you think you've been given independence, but you're not actually free. Will that group of people allow you to really go and make that changes? Another thing we should look at is, for anybody to make a change, you need to be on the table, because policy making starts on the table. So if you sit on the table, the first thing you do is see who are the people that are making this company not to work. Who are the people who are going to drag us back? You will eliminate them one by one. Because of this generation, the youth, they are very knowledgeable, they are IT guru, they know what to do. Will they be allowed to be on the table to start making the changes? These are the things we have to think of. And if you really want to make a change, it's not something you do online. It's going to be a group of people who has the same mindset and want to do something. You're going to do it underground. Because even as we are here, some of them are still here listening to what are these Africans thinking? What do they think they can do to their country? A hungry man is an angry man. No matter what you plan, and then you come and the people are hungry. The moment you want to do anything, they will give them food. They will make them go hungry. And when you're hungry and somebody gives you even a loaf of bread, you will grab it with your two hands. There was somebody who spoke something about the strategy when it comes to going deep, going into the internet or into the software, getting the data, getting the informations, and circulating it up to the rural area, and then making available resources to deal with hunger. Hunger is one thing that European has managed to deal with. No matter how hungry you are, you can't afford a loaf of bread. Everybody will know that if you live in Europe, no matter how, if you can't afford a loaf of bread, there's a place you will go and they will give you food. So at the moment, the people are hungry. And no matter what you're thinking, what you're planning, somebody will go behind and make sure they are hungry to the point where if you give them a slice of bread, they will grab it like a hungry lion. Like what happened in December, people were looking for a bag of rice and over how many people died. So hunger is a major issue that needs to be dealt with. Then when you deal with it, you deal with corruption. These are the strategies you have to do step by step, and this is not something you do online. Because the people who thought that they're giving you dependence and who are benefiting from your knowledge, your skill, your resources, and everything, they're not going to let you go. They're not going to let you go.
All
Please,
right.
my dear brothers, we need to put down,
Yep.
understand where this thing that is happening from. The leaders don't even know what they are doing.
Got
Thank
it.
you. That's my own submission.
Lady K, thank you so much for that. Appreciate you. Um, and so Perlita, the reason I was just shocked by, again, you said you didn't grow up in Nigeria. So on what grounds do you get to speak about Nigeria has a lot of mess, but trust me, I'd rather have Nigeria's mess than have South Africa's mess. South Africa is the most unequal because you compare us to South Africa and Namibia. Lady K, you can drop there. I think we're going to speak. So, and I hear this a lot from some Nigerians that were born abroad and maybe never really got to live and experience Nigeria, because you even say, thank God I never got to grow up there. So, which actually tells me you're very disconnected from it. Um, and I hear this a lot from Nigerians that are born abroad and maybe never gone there, and whatever they hear and see are things that maybe their parents taught them or things they see in the news. But if you live in Nigeria and have lived in Nigeria and have connections to Nigeria, deep connections, and you see the shit, but you also see the horizon. Look, Nigerians can definitely lead themselves. Now, the leaders that we've had, guys. I'm not bringing anybody up again. I'm out of energy at this point. Um, the leaders we have, the system we have is incredibly corrupt. We know that. But trust me, we've had governors that have led Nigeria, led their states, right? For example, um, I didn't mention South Africa. She did. So I'm just referencing what she said, Emeka. Um, I'm not based in Nigeria, but I do speak on Nigeria because I grew up in Nigeria. I have ties to Nigeria. I visit almost every single year. I grew up there. I spent my teenage years in Nigeria, in Lagos, in Abuja. I grew up there. But you said you didn't grow up there. I grew up in Nigeria. I grew up in Nigeria. I went to university in Nigeria. It's not about having family there. Did you unmute yourself? Speak. You don't have to talk to me through the comment section. I grew up in Nigeria. I spent almost the first 20 years of my life in Nigeria. So when you say the colonizer should come back, that's where you lost me. Because you're speaking as somebody who doesn't have any ties to Nigeria. And this is very typical of people that grew up, I don't know where you, UK or America, and all of a sudden you now think that the Europeans are better than you. You can unmute yourself, man. God damn, are you new to TikTok? Jesus Christ, should I wash your ass for you too? Jesus Christ, man, unmute yourself. I mean, what do you want to do?
Yes, I am new to TikTok. I don't know how
Yeah, unmute
TikTok works.
yourself.
I don't know how it
No, it's
works,
okay,
but
it's okay, it's
I
okay, it's
didn't
okay.
say for them to come back and rule. That's not what I said, guys. That's not what I said. I said that we're too early for independence, and there's a lot of well-meaning people in the States and
No,
Europe as well
nobody's
that would
well-meaning,
be willing
Perlita.
to come back and help us. Is what
Nobody's
I mean. I said we need collaboration.
you said there are
We
some
do.
well-meaning.
We're
No,
not
no.
like. Give me one example of
Okay, okay.
one African country that is ruling themselves well. Give me one good example.
Perlita.
There's no example. All the African
Can
countries,
we
like
have
in
a
the Caribbean.
conversation? Are we just gonna talk at each other?
No, you're trying to discredit my point by saying I didn't grow up there. Well, I was raised in the culture. I'm aware of what's going on there. I have family there. I talk to them every day. I know what's going on there.
Did
I'm
you
fully
live
aware.
there?
I
Did you
studied it. I
experience
probably
it?
learned more about Nigeria in school than just living there. And when I say that, I mean how the system works is what I mean. That's what I mean. Not the lived experience, but how the system actually works. My mom lived there. She grew up there her whole life, right? And so I know how things work there.
How?
I'm not saying that they should come back and rule. I never said. I said we need collaboration. We're too young. We're not together,
Perlita.
as everyone else has already stated. We're not together for different reasons. I never said we're independent. I'm saying we need actual on ground help from them, and we can because obviously now we have our country. We're able to collaborate with them on our own terms as well. Is what I mean. For example, why don't we have refineries? Why? Because we're buying back oil from them, right? Why can't we build our refineries? Why can't we do that?
Can I talk?
I'm saying you can't just discredit my point by saying, well, you didn't grow up there. That's why. I actually obviously care about the country. That's why I have these ideas, because I want it to be better, right? Me not growing up there doesn't mean I don't care about the country. I don't know what the issues are. I do know. I'm very
Can I
invested, clearly.
respond?
Yeah.
So, number one, you say why aren't we ruling ourselves properly? Oh, name one African country. Now I agree.
Yeah, name one that's successful.
Now, I could say Rwanda, but even I don't like Rwanda because Rwanda is a quote unquote base for the West. Um,
Yeah, but
no,
for
no,
the
let
West,
me land,
like
Perlita,
you said, they're
please,
doing
please,
okay though.
please, please,
You
please,
know,
please,
why do you
just
guys
let me
always have to
speak.
bring up the West though? I asked you a simple question: are they doing okay though? But you had to bring up the West. But are they doing okay though? Are
The
they
fact,
safe? Do they have clean water? Do they have power?
the fact that you speak like this tell
What's
me
the
you know
need to
nothing
bring
about
up the
Africa.
base there though? I don't get that. Huh?
The fact that you speak like that tells me you don't know how Africa works.
I do know how Africa works. I
So
do know.
then the question is
I'm very, very educated on that.
no,
Very
no, you don't know
educated.
because
Multiple countries.
okay, I'm gonna mute you because you're not making me make my fucking point. I let you make your point. Let me make my point. Don't interrupt me. The fact that you speak like that tells me you do not know how Africa works. You cannot talk about Africa without mentioning the West. That's point number one. And I'm somebody that talks about independence all the time. And even I know you cannot talk about Africa without mentioning the West. If you know the history of Africa, up until recently, the same European countries that you think, are so clean and out, so just. They are balls deep in the same African countries, sponsoring instability in those same countries so that they cannot focus on themselves. Now, is that the fault of the West? Yes or no? They definitely have puppets in there as well that play their game. You understand? So that's why I bring up the West, because they are balls deep in it as well. You cannot just ignore the role the West plays in the destabilization of African countries. That's why I say I question your true exposure to African countries. You understand? That's number one. Number two, you glorify the southern parts of Africa. And I'm like, I don't want that. Because those countries are not countries that I would love to have. I don't want to have that experience. I don't want that. Yes, you might look at the fancy roads, you might look at all these things, but you cannot benefit from that. It's not yours. It's owned by the people that built it, which is often not the blacks. I'd rather have the Nigerian situation than have that situation. Trust me about that. Because at least in the case of Nigeria, I understand that yes, Nigeria is a mess, but men, oh men, we have some Nigerians that are also balls deep in our economy. We know that Nigerians, we know that Nigeria, oh, in Nigeria, okay, we did that shit. It's our mess. You understand? So my question is this to you. When you look at the West and think, and another thing that you said that really got me out here is there are some well-meaning Europeans. What does well-meaning mean? That they're gonna give us charity work? What does that well-meaning mean? You sound like you sound like somebody that you sound like a typical African that grew up in the West and thinks they're one of the crowd. Well-meaning Europeans? The fuck is a well-meaning European? M1, do you know what a well-meaning European is? Could you please explain to me what that means? Because I don't know what that means.
I'm sorry to say that when it comes to Africa, there is no such thing as a well-meaning European person. Hell, South Africa and Namibia should be an example for you, and even Zimbabwe as well to you. Be like before Mugabe decided to remove the white people from
Unmute
the
yourself and
country.
explain. No, you don't have to wait for me to unmute. Just unmute. We're having a conversation. Sorry, go on, M1.
I may agree with Perlita on some points, but there is no such thing as collaborating with the Europeans and the fact that they are well-meaning European people at all. Yes, I may agree with like some of your points, but
Thank you.
I don't agree with the
Which
idea
of the
of
points do you agree with?
Which other points do you agree with?
the one where she said that we Africans, we kind of haven't like developed for the last 60 years. It is a very, very harsh truth, but it has to be said. I'm sorry to like literally
Exactly.
say.
We have to move forward.
Very harsh to literally say, but it had to be said. It was a reality that me must like. I literally lived in Nigeria for the first 14 years of my life. I visited the place like back in like 2 years ago, and the place has only like gotten like a much worse.
Yeah. I mean, I see that too.
Yeah.
I see. I mean, but
When I
don't
say
think. But
well-meaning
no. But guys,
Europeans, I
I think
actually
again.
mean the people who
No,
go
but
to
the question is,
Africa and do good work. And I have a couple examples.
So my question is, who was saying that Africa has developed on this platform? Was it me who said so? Because I feel like some people just come and then say things to like. I mean, it's obvious. Duh. Look, Nigeria is too structurally flawed.
Yes, so we need help.
I said so. It's clearly something that we all know. So it's not rocket. It's not like whoa.
Exactly. Africa has not added any value to the world. Like nothing. Like
yeah.
Exactly. We're just being taken from. People are taking from us. Nothing. We're just being taken from. It's
I think
sad. It is sad.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean, and I think Africa
I
absolutely.
obviously care about the country. Why would I come on here if I didn't care about the country? That's crazy to me to say that I don't care.
I don't think you care
I
the
think
way.
you and I have different views.
I
You can
don't
say
think
that. For
I don't
Was the
I
tone of your
definitely care
messaging?
about the country. I do.
I don't think you care. I don't think you care. I feel like you're coming
I
from a
do care.
place of.
I'm Nigerian. I'm fully Nigerian. I
I
do
don't. It
care.
doesn't matter. I
Why
mean,
would I be
I
on here
know.
and waste my time and speak to you guys if I didn't care? That's
I think
crazy.
okay.
I do care. I love the country.
I
It
don't think
has a
you
lot of
care, and
potential.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I think you don't care. I feel like
It is the
you're
greatest
one
country
of.
in Africa, if you ask me. It has a
I
lot of
don't. So
resources.
again, this is
A
just
lot of
my.
untapped resources too.
Oh, okay.
A
Whoa,
lot.
whoa, easy, madam. This is my partner. I'll mute you. This is why I was, this is why I say I don't care. I think you don't care. Again, this could be a bias, and fair enough. This could be a bias because the way you speak about it, you're speaking. You remind me of the. I've had people disagree with me. Sure, I don't care about that. It's just the way you come off is very like um how do I say it? Some of the things you say when you started, you were like, oh, thank God I didn't grow up there. Oh, thank God I didn't grow up there. You know, you said the word, the colonizers need to come back. I swear on my life, you said that. I heard you. The colonizers need to come back. That's what you use. The colonizers need to come back. You said that. Number two, you compared us to people who, the most unequal countries in the world. Number three, and when you say these three things, and number four, why do you have to bring up the West? Why do you have to bring up the West? Nah, you don't care. It's not about being in Nigeria. Being in Nigeria, it's not even about that. It's not even about being in Nigeria because people always say, oh, because you're outside Nigeria means you don't care. That's a stupid logic. I send money home. I'm building the country. I'm contributing to it. I'm bringing people together to talk about issues. But that's the four things. So that's to you, Perlita. That's the four reasons why I
I
think you
do
do not
care.
care.
I do care. You don't know me. I do care.
I
That's
mean,
why I'm on here.
I'm
That's
working
why I
off what you
patiently
said. That's
listen
why I
to
don't need to know
everyone
you.
that spoke. That's why I came on here. That's why I follow you. That's why I listen
I
to
mean,
everybody
people
patiently
come on my
that
panel to
spoke.
troll as well. So again,
I'm not a troll. I'm Nigerian,
this
so
could
I'm
be
not
my
a
bias,
troll.
and
I don't.
I'm 100% allowed to. I can be wrong, but I'm just saying this is why I think you don't care, and I gave you reasons why. I'm not just saying, oh, listen.
When I
I'm
say
backing
why
up
do
my
you
claims
bring up the
too.
West, I mean that why do you bring up the West when it comes to when you're talking about an African country that's doing okay? Then say, well, you said I don't like Rwanda because the West is there. Who cares? They're safe. They're eating. They
I
have
didn't.
power.
No,
They
no,
have
no, no.
access to education. That point is not
What do
needed.
you mean? Who
Guys,
cares?
it's already too
What does
late.
that mean?
The
Who
West
cares?
already, guys, if we're being realistic, the West already, this is years and years of them ruling. It's not going to change overnight. We have to be realistic.
I want
I'm
you
not
guys to
saying it's
pay.
good. I
I
don't
want you
like
guys to
it.
pay attention to the words she's using, because a lot of you you're missing the little things she's dropping here and there. Who cares? They're safe. Do you know how they're safe? Do you know why they're safe? Do you know how they're safe? See, that's the little thing that like, you don't care. Who cares? They're safe. Do you know how they're safe? Do you know why they're safe, Perlita, my dear? Hmm? That's the little thing that I'm saying, Do you know the role Rwanda plays in Congo, in the destabilization and destruction of Congo?
Thank you.
Do you know
I'm
that? Or do you care? I guess you don't care. Because who cares, right? Do you know why Kagame is where he is today? Do you know how he is? But who cares? You remind me of one of those Africans that as soon as because they are born abroad, they think their shit don't stink. Move out of the way. Talking about who cares. Move out of
yeah,
the way.
like
I've seen her type.
yes,
I know her type. They go abroad,
yeah,
speak British English, American English. Yeah, Nigeria, the colonizers need to. That's the thing that sold me. Like colonizers need to come, but man, fuck you and fuck
yeah,
your
like we
colonizer
have to
worship. Fuck
collaborate
out of here. We don't
with
need you.
them. How is that working in South
Nigeria is a
Africa?
mess. We know that, and we will fix it. God only
like
such a person. Such a person. You can
we
only
sort
imagine
us
what she
out.
says to her white friends, her European friends. Those people, I know her type. I know her type. I've seen your type before. If you're gonna come talk about Africa this way, only Lord knows what you say to your European friends to sound different. When
The
you
clan
started
with the
when
tan.
when you started, you said, I thank God I didn't grow up there. I clocked that. The colonizers need to come back. I clocked that. Who cares if Rwanda is doing well? I clocked that. So I know your type. I read between the lines, man. I go on M1.
I can't lie. Like, wow, I did agree with a lot of what she literally said, but what really stuck out to me was the fact that she said that I'm happy that I wasn't born there and I'm happy that my parents left like real quick. I don't really agree with that message. Yes, the country is very, very dysfunctional, but I'm still happy to have lived there for the first 14 years of my life. The country has some issues, but one thing I'll never do is shit on the country.
No, she's British or American.
It's
She's American now, bro.
FBA.
She's the one of the good
She's
ones.
she's not.
She's one of the good ones. She's not tainted, by those Africans. God damn it, those fucking
she
Africans. You know.
she sounds like one of those FBAs.
Yeah.
Uh,
She's I know her. I mean, I know their type. I've been there. I've seen their type before. I had one of Perlita's people tell me, oh, but the British should have stayed in Nigeria. I was about to smack his teeth,
nah,
but I was like, he looks so
nah.
frail and fragile. Those black kids that are trying to be white by all means. That's Perlita.
Yeah,
I didn't grow up there.
they.
Imagine what she would tell her. No, girl, Nigeria. I didn't grow up there. Yuck.
Oh, it's such a shithole
It's a
country.
shithole,
I don't
girl.
want to go there.
I'm so glad. I am so glad my mom left early. Oh, smelling and eating fufu. Yuck.
It's so gross. Oh my
Ugh.
days.
Is it
It's so
okra?
yucky.
Yeah. Move out of here. She said, look at childish behavior. Oh, she's going to slander Nigeria even more. This is why I don't like Nigerians, man. They're so fucking childish. Yuck. I'm so different and I love
Uh,
Tommy. This is why I love Tommy so much,
they are, they are so unintelligent. The country is so dirty. It's such a.
She said, I care about Nigeria. Man, move out of the way, I beg. Talk silly.
Like
Sit in
me,
your high horse.
me. I don't think she was coming in good faith at all.
She
The
wasn't
fact
coming
that she
from
said
good
that
faith.
I'm so
Impossible.
happy that I didn't grow up there just meant that she wasn't coming in good faith. Yes, I did agree with a couple of the things that she literally said, but she did not come in good faith at all.
Yeah.
Saying that you were happy that you were not born there was a quick giveaway for me.
Same.
Was a quick giveaway for me. It is because if you think that these European people that are well-meaning are willing to collaborate,
Oh, that's another thing.
like
She said they're so well-meaning Europeans.
well-meaning. Do you think that they see you as equals? Like, look at South Africa and
She said, "Look at that."
Namibia. How is the
She
collaboration working?
said they are doing better. No, they're not. The whites are doing better.
No, they are not. In South Africa and Namibia, over 80% of the wealth there are literally owned by the white people. In fact, 90%. 80% is me even being a bit generous to the black people in those countries. 90%. They literally own them all the farmlands, all the businesses. And you think that you can collaborate with those people?
Yeah, she's
Impossible.
she's a whitewashed black girl who thinks she's one of the club.
Yeah, like we call them the clan with the tan.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Thank you very
Yo,
much,
Kelly, you've been
everybody.
spamming comments, man. What's up, bro?
And I just wanted to tell you, host, I know that so-called girl that came up on the
Oh,
platform.
the
There
well-meaning
was a bunch
Europeans.
of group of a bunch of cowards. And I mean, I even know one of her friends. I think that one is called T-Share or something like that. I was on a platform earlier whereby there are so bunch of talking down and talking nonsense against Africa. And you could see the very racist and disgusting words that came out from their mouths. And I was even pissed off that day. Talk about down, talk about, there was even one of them that even made a statement and say, oh, British should just drop, British have nuclear weapons. They should just drop it on African countries. Very disgusting set of people. And I was trying to
Clubbed it. I
just
clubbed it. I
comment on the
clubbed it.
platform. Absolutely. So that you can just bring her down. There's a bunch of black, white, that they see themselves as white people.
Yeah.
And I think our ancestors is from Nigeria, because the other day one of them was saying, "Oh, my mother's from, I think, from somewhere from Ghana, Kenya, and this thing, but you're not from there." So that is their so-called character.
Yeah.
And very rude. They see themselves as being white. Even in their own country, they are marginalized. This so-called black British people that whenever they just born them in overseas, and they tend to see themselves as being special. Which being special? Don't you see what the black Americans are facing? You are a slave in British. Your opinion is never counted when it comes to governing, decision of governing. You are just a minority. You're only there because of the benefit they see you as. In the system that is full of white supremacy. They don't even count.
Oh, she
And
loves
this
it.
is
She
their problem.
says
They fail
they're
to understand.
well-meaning Europeans, bro. Don't you know that for Africa? Come on, man. They're well-meaning, man. Shit, man. They're gonna come help us with their good hearts. They're gonna come help us with good hearts and just give it to us and just walk away without interfering at all because they're well-meaning, bro.
I think it is people like her that we need to categorize these people as to put them in the same bracket, so we should know the demons we are fighting. I think most of those black
She said we can't rule ourselves. No, let's move on from her, beg. She's one of those agents type things, like she says, we can't rule ourselves. Let's sit down there. Yes, we have a lot of shit. We have a lot of people in India. Yes, it's crazy. Oh God, no matter where you go, you're a black woman. You can wear your red wig or whatever you wear. You're a black woman, you're Nigerian, you can call yourself, talk about we can't rule. They see you as a black African.
And the worst part,
they can't rule ourselves. You can't rule yourself just right with us. You're sat right next to us, bruv. Like, get that.
And
the worst part, they're always being the victim of discrimination, bullying. These black people that they tend to see themselves as one people of the West. But the thing is that in a society whereby you as a black person, your opinion is not even counted. You are being marginalized in the system. You are a slave. Look at the black Americans that have been enslaved out of Africa for thousands of years. And they still, you still see the way they lashed out and they still cry against the system that has never been fair to black people. It has never been fair to them. It is all about discrimination, enslavement. And you can hear somebody like her came up to, she should be ashamed of herself. You're ashamed of herself. Talking about being British, you're a black man. And if you even trace this kind of person, you tend to find out that her mom or some ways from ancestors from Africa. These are white, black, how will I call these people? So they're just, she's just one of them. I know there are a bunch of them with her friends.
The whitewashed. It's okay, Kelly. So it's good. So
Kelly,
it's
Kelly, you touched on something very, very important here, that black British people are some of the most terrible people. Like, when I moved back to the UK after 14 years of living them in Nigeria, the people who were the meanest to me for literally sounding Nigerian were all black people, we're all black people. These people legit to shame me, and the first three guys to literally mock me were all Nigerians, and they were all from Edo State.
okay, guys.
Can you imagine?
Please. Let's not go. I don't want to. I don't have time for that. Yeah, sure. Sorry about that, M1. But no, let's not that. I'm tired. But anyway, let me make this very, very clear, man. I bleed Nigeria. will do everything to make Nigeria work. You get me? And all you Nigerians cosplaying as Europeans, saying things that, oh, we cannot lead ourselves. That's the rhetoric they share to you to believe it. And some of you because of you want to fit in. You come on here and tell me we cannot rule ourselves. The colonizers need to come back. Man, shut the fuck up. All right? Shut the fuck up. You understand? You talk, the world still sees you as a black African. Like it or not, you're one of us. You're right there with us. So if you can cosplay and speak from a high position all you want. You're black. You're African. You're Nigerian, and the world sees you as such. And it's not a bad thing. But don't you dare try to come from a place of bad faith and then try to act like your shit does. Guys, I'm out. Thanks for the time. I got to sleep. I've been live for 5 hours now. God damn. M1 Kelly, thank you so
Good night,
much.
bro.
Good
Good
night.
You're
night, bro.
welcome, bro. One love, brother.
Good
You're
night.
welcome.